Hey guys, tonight we step into the Arctic's endless night where the sky is a canvas of swirling stars and the air bites your cheeks with a cold so sharp it feels alive. You're standing on a frozen ocean, the ice beneath your boots creaking like an old ship, the horizon swallowed by darkness. The wind hums a low, eerie tune, and somewhere, an Inuit family is singing their voices, weaving a map through this frozen maze. This is the world of singing maps where melodies guide you across oceans that could swallow you whole. Spoiler alert, you probably won't survive the cold without a good parka and a song to keep you warm. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop a comment with your location and local time. I'd love to know where you're drifting off from. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're in the Arctic centuries ago, maybe the 18th century though. The Inuit's way of life stretches back millennia. The snow crunches under your feet, each step a gamble on ice that might crack. The air smells of salt and frost, and your breath clouds in front of you, vanishing into the night. This is Inuit territory, Baffin Island perhaps, or the shores of Greenland, where families have thrived in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Historical records show the Inuit developed sophisticated survival techniques, from igloo building to harpoon crafting, all passed down through oral tradition. But tonight it's their singing maps that hold you songs that chart the frozen oceans, guiding kayaks through ice flows and storms. You squint into the darkness, the stars above. Your only light, their patterns sharp against the velvet sky. The Inuit you learn don't use paper maps. Paper would freeze and crumble here. And besides, who's got time to sketch when you're dodging polar bears? Instead, they sing. You hear a faint melody carried on the wind, a family's voices rising and falling, each note a marker of a safe path, a hidden shoal, or a star to steer by. It's hypnotic like a lullaby, but it's also a lifeline. You chuckle, imagining trying to hum your way out of a traffic jam back home. Good luck with that. The quirky truth is that some Inuit songs included sound markers mimicking the echo of waves against ice to pinpoint locations. You picture a singer nailing the perfect whoosh of a tide and grin. But the cold snaps you back. Your fingers tingle, and you realize how fragile you are out here. The ice stretches endless, a labyrinth of cracks and ridges, and one wrong step could plunge you into water so cold it steals your breath forever. Historians still argue whether Inuit singing maps were primarily navigational tools or cultural expressions blending survival with storytelling. You're leaning toward both, feeling the weight of those voices, not just mapping routes, but binding families, keeping hope alive in the dark. You think of the complaints in that Byzantine folder: pigs, goats, chickens, and smile. Here the stakes are higher, the song's a shield against oblivion. You trudge forward following the melody, your boots sinking into soft snow. The song grows clearer, a woman's voice leading steady and warm, joined by others, a man, a child, their harmonies weaving a path through the ice. You imagine their kayak, a sleek frame of sealskin gliding where you walk, the singer's breath visible in the frigid air. The Arctic's beauty is brutal, its silence vast, broken only by the creak of ice and the family's song. You spot a flicker of movement, a seal maybe, or just the wind sculpting snow. You laugh softly, thinking of how your GPS would probably just spin in circles out here, whining, recalculating like a lost puppy. The song shifts its rhythm, slowing, and you feel a pull, like the tide itself is guiding you. You're not just walking. You're part of something ancient, a tradition that's kept Inuit families alive for generations. The stars seem brighter now, their light a map of their own, and you wonder if the singers know them by name, each one a note in their melody. You yawn, the cold seeping into your bones, but the song keeps you grounded, its cadence, a promise of safety. You think back to that whoosh sound marker, and it hits you. This isn't just navigation, it's art, survival, and memory, all in one breath. You pause, the ice solid beneath you, the song fading as the family's kayak moves out of earshot. The Arctic stretches on, vast and unyielding, but you feel a warmth, not from fire, but from the voices that conquer this frozen world. The singing maps are more than tools. They're the Inuit's heartbeat, carrying them across oceans where others would falter. You smile, imagining trying to explain this to your friends. Yeah, they sang their way through ice, no big deal. The night closes in the stars, your only company, and you feel the first tug of sleep, the song's echo, a gentle guide into the dark. You're trudging across the Arctic's frozen ocean, the ice beneath your boots groaning with each step, the air so cold it stings your lungs with every breath. The stars above glitter like scattered jewels, but the horizon is a void swallowing all sense of direction. You're following an Inuit family, their silhouettes faint against the snow, moving with a purpose that feels almost supernatural. They're nomads of this icy world, their lives a dance of survival across vast, unforgiving landscapes. The wind carries a faint hum, not yet a song, but a hint of the singing maps that guide them, the melodies that keep them from vanishing into the Arctic's endless night. You draw closer, your parka rustling the crunch of snow underfoot, blending with the distant crack of shifting ice. The family, a hunter, his wife, 2 children, and an elder, moves as one, their sled loaded with sealskin tents and bone tools, pulled by dogs whose breath clouds the air. The Inuit historical records confirm were master navigators traversing thousands of miles across the Arctic for millennia, from Greenland's coasts to Canada's Nunavut hunting seal and caribou, always on the move. Their nomadic pulse is driven by the seasons chasing resources across ice and tundra, and you feel it now, a rhythm as steady as a heartbeat, guiding them through this frozen maze. You smirk as one of the dogs, a shaggy beast with eyes like coal, pauses to sniff a snowdrift, nearly toppling a bundle of harpoons. "Focus, Fluffball," you mutter, imagining it filing a complaint about the cold. The quirky truth is that Inuit sled dogs were sometimes named for their quirks. One legend says was called Snores Like Wind for its noisy naps. You chuckle, picturing Paulus from that Byzantine tale, groaning at a dog-themed scroll. But the humor fades as you watch the family adjust their course, the elder pointing to a star, her voice low, testing a melody. This isn't random wandering. It's a calculated path etched in song, not paper. The ice stretches endless, its surface a patchwork of cracks and ridges, each a potential trap. You notice the hunter scanning the horizon, his eyes sharp, reading signs you can't see. Maybe a shift in the ice's color, a clue to its thickness. The family's survival hinges on this knowledge, passed down through generations, not in books, but in stories and songs. Historians still argue whether Inuit navigation relied more on environmental cues or memorized routes like those singing maps you're chasing. You're leaning toward a blend, feeling the family's confidence. Their steps sure, despite the darkness, as if the ice itself whispers back through their melodies. You keep pace, your breath puffing in the frigid air, the cold seeping through your gloves. The elder's hum grows clearer, a soft chant now joined by the wife, their voices weaving a pattern you can't yet grasp. It's not just pretty. It's precise, each note a marker, a ridge to avoid a current to follow. You think back to that whoosh sound marker from the frozen ocean, the way it mimicked waves, and realize this chant is doing the same, painting the landscape in sound. You laugh softly, imagining trying to sing your way to the grocery store. Yeah, you'd probably end up in a parking lot, serenading a dumpster. The family pauses, the hunter kneeling to test the ice with a bone tool, tapping gently, listening for weakness. You're struck by their unity, each member playing a role, the children watching, learning, the elder guiding, the dogs alert. The Arctic demands this harmony, where a single misstep could mean disaster. You feel a pang, remembering the Byzantine folder's chaos, its piles of petty complaints. Here there's no room for such nonsense. Every action, every note, is life or death. The chant resumes stronger now, and you follow the song pulling you like a tide, its rhythm syncing with your steps. You glance at the sky, the stars sharper now, their patterns a celestial map the family seems to know by heart. The elder's voice rises a single note, held long, and you wonder if it's tied to that bright star overhead, a guidepost in their song. The ice feels less hostile now, or maybe you're just caught in the chant's spell, its cadence wrapping you like a blanket. You yawn, the cold settling into your bones, but the family's movement keeps you grounded, their nomadic pulse, a reminder of resilience. You think of the dog snores like wind, and smile imagining it dreaming of seals, while you're dreaming of warmth. You linger behind as the family moves on, their silhouettes blending into the snow, the chant fading but not gone. The Arctic stretches vast, its silence both cruel and beautiful, yet the Inuit navigate it, their lives a testament to adaptation. The singing maps, you realize, are more than directions. They're a way of being, a pulse that carries families through seasons, storms, and stars. You feel the weight of their journey, the ice a mirror of their strength, and you're ready to follow deeper, to hear the songs that chart their world. The night closes in, the stars your guide, and you drift closer to sleep, the family's hum, a gentle echo in the dark. You're huddled in a sealskin tent, the Arctic wind howling outside, rattling the frame like a restless spirit. Inside, the air is warm, thick with the scent of burning seal oil and the faint musk of caribou hides. A small lamp flickers, casting shadows on the faces of an Inuit family. An elder, her eyes creased with wisdom, surrounded by a hunter, his wife, and their children, all listening intently. You're here to hear the power of their oral tradition, the stories and songs that are more than tales. They're the backbone of survival, binding generations and guiding them across frozen oceans. The elder's voice, low and steady, begins a chant, and you feel its weight, a thread connecting you to the singing maps that keep this family alive. You shift on the hide-covered floor, your parka rustling the cold, just a whisper beyond the tent's walls. The elder's story isn't about heroes or gods. It's about a journey across the ice, a path marked by stars and currents encoded in her words. Historical records affirm that Inuit oral traditions spanning thousands of years preserved knowledge with astonishing accuracy, from hunting techniques to navigation routes, all without written language. These stories, passed from elder to child, are the family's library, their map, their survival manual. You listen captivated as her chant describes a hidden shoal, its location tied to a specific melody, a precursor to the singing maps you've been chasing. You smirk as one of the children, a boy with a mischievous grin, mimics the elder's chant, adding a goofy whoosh that earns a playful swat from his mother. You chuckle, imagining him trying to file that sound in Paulus's Byzantine folder. Good luck sorting that one. The quirky truth is that Inuit storytellers sometimes wove riddles into their tales, testing listeners' memory with cryptic phrases like, "Where the seal dives twice." One elder legend says, hit a root in a story about a dancing walrus, leaving kids giggling and memorizing landmarks. You picture the boy mastering that walrus dance and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's focus, her voice a lifeline in this frozen world. Her story shifts, describing a storm that nearly sank a kayak, the family saved by a song that pointed to a safe inlet. You feel the tension, the ice outside creaking as if echoing her words. The oral tradition's power lies in its precision. Every note, every phrase carries meaning, like the whoosh of waves you heard before, mimicking the ocean's pulse. You think of the family's nomadic pulse, their constant movement across the Arctic, and realize these stories are their anchor, tying them to the land, the sea, the stars. Historians still argue whether Inuit oral traditions were primarily practical or spiritual, a way to navigate or to commune with the Arctic spirits. You're leaning toward both, feeling the chant's rhythm, not just guiding, but grounding a prayer against the dark. You lean closer, the lamp's glow warming your face, the elder's voice weaving a map in your mind. She describes a star, the one that never wanders, and you recognize it as Polaris, the North Star, a fixed point in their songs. The children listen wide-eyed, absorbing every word, their survival depending on it. You laugh softly, imagining trying to memorize your commute with a song. Yeah, you'd probably end up serenading a bus stop. But here, memory is everything, the oral tradition, a living archive far sturdier than the Byzantine folder's papyrus, which crumbled under dust. The elder's chant is a promise ensuring the family's path through the ice, from Baffin Island's shores to Greenland's cliffs. The tent feels smaller now, the family's closeness a shield against the Arctic's vastness. You notice the hunter carving a bone tool, his hand steady, listening as he works the story shaping his movements. The wife hums along, her voice soft, reinforcing the melody, a harmony of survival. You yawn, the lamps flicker, and the chant's cadence blending into a soothing hum, the tent a cocoon of warmth. You think of that dancing walrus riddle, and it hits you, these stories aren't just maps. They're joy binding the family through laughter, and lessons keeping the cold at bay. You glance at the children, the boy now serious, repeating a phrase under his breath, practicing. The oral tradition's power is its lifeblood flowing from one generation to the next, never static, always adapting. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to turmoil. Here the stories endure, carried in voices, not ink, resilient against storms and time. You laugh again, picturing the elder scolding you for forgetting a note. Sorry, ma'am, I'm no walrus dancer. The chant slows, the elder's eyes meeting yours, as if she knows you're listening her story. A gift, a map to carry you forward. You linger in the tent, the wind outside softening the family's voices, a quiet hum now. The Arctic waits beyond its ice and stars unyielding, but the oral tradition holds it at bay, a web of stories that charts the frozen oceans. You feel the weight of their resilience. The tent, a beacon in the dark, and you're ready to follow deeper, to hear the singing maps take shape. The night wraps around you, the chants echo, a gentle guide, and you drift closer to sleep, the elder's voice, a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're standing on a windswept shore, the Arctic Ocean stretching before you, its ice floes glinting under a pale, endless twilight. The air bites your nose, carrying the sharp tang of salt and the faint musk of seaweed trapped in frost. An Inuit family gathers nearby their kayaks, beached on the pebble-strewn coast, sealskin taut against bone frames. The elder from the tent, her face etched with years of survival, leads a soft chant, her voice rising and falling like waves. You're here to discover the singing maps, the melodies that transform the frozen seas into paths, guiding families through a labyrinth where one wrong turn means oblivion. The song wraps around you, a lifeline in the cold, and you're ready to hear its birth. You step closer, your boots crunching on the icy pebbles, the wind tugging at your parka. The family hunter wife, children, and elder stands in a loose circle, their breath clouding in the frigid air. The elder's chant is no mere story now. It's a map, each note a marker of a safe route, a hidden current, or a star's position. Historical records note that Inuit navigation relied on oral systems developed over millennia to traverse vast Arctic waters from Baffin Island to Greenland's fjords. These singing maps, born from necessity, are the family's compass, their voices weaving a path where paper would freeze and shatter. You feel the song's rhythm, steady as a pulse, guiding you across the ice. You smirk as the boy from the tent, still mischievous, tries to mimic the elder's chant, tossing in a dramatic whoosh that earns a stern glance. "Save it for the seals, kid," you mutter, chuckling at his enthusiasm. The quirky truth is that some Inuit singing maps included playful mnemonics, like rhyming phrases or exaggerated sounds to help memorize routes. One tale claims a singer used a growling bear noise to mark a dangerous ice ridge, making children giggle while learning. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a bear-themed scroll and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's focus, her voice carving order from the ocean's chaos. The song shifts its melody, slowing, and you catch specific words. A star's name, a shoal's depth woven into the lyrics. The elder points to the horizon where a faint ridge of ice glints and sings a phrase that mimics the sound of waves lapping against it, like that whoosh you heard before. You realize the singing maps are alive, not just directions, but a sensory tapestry blending sound, sight, and memory. Historians still argue whether these maps were purely practical or held spiritual weight, connecting singers to the Arctic soul. You're leaning toward both, feeling the chant's power, not just guiding kayaks, but anchoring the family a prayer against the sea's indifference. You kneel by a kayak, its sealskin smooth under your gloved fingers, the craft a marvel of Inuit ingenuity. The hunter joins the chant, his voice deeper harmonizing with the elder, describing a safe passage between two ice floes. You imagine paddling out there, the song your only guide, the ice shifting beneath you. You laugh softly, thinking of your phone's map app, freezing in this cold good luck, zooming in on a flow. The singing maps are born from this necessity, from a world where survival demands memory, not gadgets. You think back to the Byzantine folder, its papyrus piles drowning clerks, and marvel at the Inuits' elegance, their songs a cleaner system etched in air. The family's chant grows stronger, the wife and children joining their voices, a chorus that feels like a shield against the Arctic's vastness. You notice the elder gesturing to the stars, her hand tracing a pattern, Polaris maybe, or a constellation you don't know. The song ties these celestial markers to earthly ones, a melody that maps the heavens to the sea. You yawn, the winds howl, softening the chant's cadence, blending with the lap of waves, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. The singing maps are taking shape, not just as tools, but as a family's heartbeat, each note a step through the frozen ocean, from safe harbors to distant hunting grounds. You glance at the children, the boy now serious, repeating a phrase under his breath, learning the map. The girl beside him hums softly, her small voice steady, already mastering the melody that will one day save her. The singing maps are a gift passed down like the elder's stories, but they're also a burden demanding perfect recall. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its order lost to chaos. Here, the songs endure their precision, a testament to the Inuits' resilience. You laugh again, picturing yourself botching a note, and ending up in an iceberg's embrace. Sorry, elder, I'm no walrus dancer. The chant holds you its rhythm, a promise of safety. You linger on the shore, the family's voices fading as they prepare their kayaks. The song now a quiet hum. The Arctic Ocean stretches before you, its ice a glittering puzzle, but the singing maps make it knowable, a path woven in melody. You feel the weight of their creation born from necessity, love and memory, a system that carries families where others would falter. The twilight deepens the stars brighter, and you're ready to follow deeper to see how these songs become lifelines. The night wraps around you, the chants echo, a gentle guide, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless cold. You're gliding over the Arctic's frozen ocean, not in a kayak, but on foot, your boots crunching through a thin layer of snow, the ice beneath a pale blue mirror, reflecting the starlit sky. The air is so cold it feels like needles in your lungs, and the wind carries a low moan, as if the sea itself is warning you. The Inuit family you've been following is out there, their kayaks slicing through narrow channels between ice floes, their singing map a faint melody on the breeze. You're here to face the ocean's treacherous whispers, the shifting, deadly terrain that demands the precision of those songs to navigate. The ice creaks under your weight, and you feel the Arctic's menace, a world where one wrong step could be your last. You trudge forward, your parka hood pulled tight, the stars above sharp and unyielding. The ocean is no flat highway. It's a labyrinth of pressure ridges, open leads of black water, and thin ice disguised by snow. Historical records confirm that the Inuit navigated these waters for millennia, their survival hinging on an intimate knowledge of ice dynamics, learned through experience and encoded in oral traditions like the singing maps. You spot a jagged ridge ahead, its edges glinting like teeth, and remember the elders chant a note that warned of such obstacles. The song, you realize, isn't just a guide. It's a shield against the ice's deceit. You smirk as a gust of wind nearly topples you, your arms flailing like a penguin on a bad day. Nice try, Arctic, you mutter, chuckling at your clumsiness. The quirky truth is that Inuit navigators sometimes used ice songs with exaggerated rhythms to mimic the sound of cracking ice, helping kayakers avoid weak spots. One tale claims the singer mimicked a pop-pop crunch so well it saved a whole family from a collapsing floe. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga wincing at a scroll about cracking ice and grin, but the humor fades as you hear the ice groan, a deep, unsettling sound that makes your heart skip. The singing map's precision is no joke out here. You pause, catching your breath, the family's chant clearer now, drifting across the water. The elder's voice leads, describing a safe channel, her melody weaving around a growling bear sound from the shore, a marker you now recognize. The ice is alive, shifting with tides and temperature, and you feel its treachery, open water, one day solid the next, or worse, a thin crust waiting to betray you. Historians still argue whether Inuit singing maps were more about memorizing fixed routes or adapting to the ice's constant changes. You're leaning toward adaptation, feeling the family's confidence, their song adjusting to the ocean's mood, like a dancer matching a partner's steps. You step carefully, avoiding a dark patch that might be thin ice, your eyes scanning for the family's kayaks. You spot them, tiny shapes gliding between flows. The hunters paddle, steady, guided by the song's rhythm. You imagine being out there, the cold water inches away, the chant your only compass. You laugh softly, thinking of your car's GPS, whining, recalculating in this chaos. Good luck finding a signal here. The singing maps are a marvel born from the Arctic's demands, far nimbler than the Byzantine folder's papyrus piles, which drowned under petty complaints. Here, every note is life, every pause, a warning. The wind picks up, carrying snow that stings your face, and you squint to keep the family in sight. The song shifts, a higher note, signaling a change, maybe a current, maybe a star's alignment. You think back to the whoosh of waves, the pop-pop crunch of ice, and realize the singing maps are a language speaking the ocean's secrets. The family's unity is palpable, their voices a chorus against the ice's whispers, each member singing a part, elder hunter, wife, even the children. You yawn, the cold seeping into your bones, the chant's cadence blending with the wind's moan, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. The ice's treachery is real, but the song holds it at bay, a fragile but fierce defense. You glance at the stars, their patterns, a celestial map the family weaves into their melody. A bright one, Polaris, you're sure anchors the song, its light, a constant in this shifting world. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its order lost to turmoil. The singing maps endure their oral strength, unyielding against the Arctic's chaos, a system that carries families where others would falter. You laugh again, picturing yourself singing the wrong note and paddling into an iceberg. Sorry, Elder, I'm no bear growler. The chant holds you its rhythm, a promise of safety, even as the ice creaks ominously. You linger on the frozen ocean, the family's kayaks fading into the twilight, their song a faint echo now. The Arctic stretches vast, its ice a glittering trap, but the singing maps make it navigable, a path carved in melody. You feel the weight of their necessity born from the ocean's treachery, a lifeline that binds the family to the stars, the sea, and each other. The night deepens the cold wrapping around you, and you're ready to follow deeper to see how these songs become lifelines. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're seated in a sealskin kayak, the Arctic Ocean's icy breath grazing your face, the paddle in your hands slick with frost. The water beneath is black and unforgiving, hemmed by jagged ice floes that shift with the tide, their edges sharp as knives. The Inuit family you've been following paddles nearby, their kayaks gliding in sync, their singing map a steady chant cutting through the wind's low moan. You're here to learn how these melodies born from elders' voices guide kayaks through the ice's deadly maze, a lifeline where a single misstep could plunge you into oblivion. The song's rhythm steadies your grip, and you're ready to paddle into its embrace. You dip your paddle, the kayak slicing forward, the cold so fierce it numbs your fingers through your mittens. The family's chant, led by the elder, is clear now. Each note, a beacon, a star's position, a current's pull, a safe channel between flows. Historical records affirm that Inuit kayakers navigated thousands of miles of Arctic waters, from Nunavut's coast to Greenland's fjords, using oral maps honed over centuries. These singing maps, you realize, are more than directions. They're a pulse syncing the family's movements with the ocean's whims, a harmony that keeps them alive where the ice whispers treachery. You smirk as the boy in the nearest kayak, that mischievous kid from the shore, adds a playful pop-pop to the chant, mimicking cracking ice and earning a chuckle from his father. Stick to the tune, seal brain, you mutter, grinning at his antics. The quirky truth is that some Inuit songs included call and response patterns, where paddlers echoed the leader's notes to stay in sync like a musical checkpoint. One tale claims a kayaker's whoosh echo saved his crew by signaling a hidden shoal. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of pop-pops, and laugh. But the humor fades as you feel the kayak rock the ice, closing in the song's precision, your only anchor. The elder's voice rises, singing of a growling bear sound, a ridge you glimpsed earlier, its echo now a warning woven into the melody. You paddle harder, following the hunter's lead, his kayak weaving through a narrow channel, the song's rhythm dictating each stroke. The ice's treachery is palpable, open water glints to your left, a trap for the unwary, while a flow to your right groans ready to shift. Historians still argue whether singing maps were static routes or dynamic guides adapting to the ice's daily changes. You're leaning toward dynamic, feeling the song shift a higher note for a new current, a pause for a star's alignment, keeping you safe as the ocean tests your nerve. You glance at the sky, Polaris blazing like a lantern, its light tied to the chant's cadence, a fixed point in this shifting world. The family's unity is your lifeline. The wife's voice steadies the melody. The children's soft hums reinforce it, each paddle stroke a note in their survival. You laugh softly, imagining your phone's map app short-circuiting out here. Good luck pinging a satellite through this ice. The singing maps are a marvel, far nimbler than the Byzantine folder's papyrus piles, which drowned under petty complaints like insulted figs. Here, every note is life, every harmony a path through the Arctic's jaws. The wind picks up snow, stinging your cheeks, and you squint to keep the family's kayaks in sight. The song's tempo quickens, signaling a tight passage ahead. Ice floes crowding closer, their surfaces slick and menacing. You paddle in time, your heart pounding, the elder's voice, a thread pulling you through. You think back to the whoosh of waves, the pop-pop crunch of ice, and realize the song is a language speaking the ocean's secrets in ways your GPS could never dream. You yawn, the cold seeping into your bones, the chant's cadence blending with the lap of water, a soothing hum that calms your nerves. The ice's menace looms, but the song is your shield, a fragile but fierce lifeline. You notice the girl in the family's kayak, her small hands gripping a paddle, her voice steady despite the danger. She's learning her notes, weaving into the map a future navigator born on this frozen sea. The family's trust in the song is absolute, their voices a chorus against the Arctic's silence. Each member a vital thread, elder hunter, wife, children. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its order lost to chaos. The singing maps endure their oral strength, unyielding, carrying kayaks where others would falter. You laugh again, picturing yourself botching a growling bear note and drifting into an ice trap. Sorry, elder, I'm no seal singer. The chant holds you, its rhythm, a promise of safety. You linger in the kayak, the family's voices steady as they navigate the passage, the ice parting like a grudging gate. The Arctic Ocean stretches vast, its dangers ever present, but the singing maps make it knowable, a path carved in melody that binds the family to the stars, the sea, and each other. You feel the weight of their resilience. The kayak, a fragile shell, against the ice's might yet strong in the song's embrace. The twilight deepens the cold, wrapping you tighter, and you're ready to follow deeper to see how these melodies are crafted. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps, a lullaby, in the Arctic's endless night. You're crouched on a frost-covered shore, the Arctic Ocean lapping at the pebbled edge, its surface a mosaic of ice floes glinting under a twilight sky. The air is sharp, scented with salt, and the faint musk of sealskin drying nearby. The Inuit family you followed gathers in a tight circle, their kayaks beach, their faces lit by the soft glow of a seal oil lamp. The elder, her hands weathered like the ice itself, leads a chant, her voice, a steady thread weaving stars and shores into a singing map. You're here to watch her teach these songs, the melodies that chart the frozen seas, passing them to the next generation like a sacred trust. The chant's rhythm wraps around you, and you're ready to learn its craft. You settle on a hide mat, your parka rustling, the cold seeping through despite the lamp's warmth. The elder's song is deliberate, each note a marker, a star's arc, a current's twist, a ridge's echo. She points to Polaris, the North Star, singing its name in a low, resonant tone, then shifts to mimic the whoosh of waves against a hidden shoal. Historical records note that Inuit oral traditions refined over thousands of years encoded navigational knowledge with precision, embedding landmarks in songs that guided families across Arctic waters. These singing maps, you realize, are crafted with care, a blend of memory and music that turns the ocean's chaos into a path. You smirk as the boy from the kayak, ever the jester, tries to echo the elder's whoosh with an exaggerated puff, earning a playful nudge from his sister. You'll scare the stars, goof, you mutter, chuckling at his grin. The quirky truth is that Inuit elders sometimes used humorous mnemonics to make songs stick like silly rhymes, or animal sounds to mark dangerous spots. One elder legend says taught a song with a snoring seal noise for a calm bay, making kids laugh while memorizing routes. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder tale groaning at a scroll full of seal snores and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elders focus her chant a lifeline, not a game. She pauses, gesturing to the children, her eyes sharp, testing their recall. The girl steps forward, her voice small but steady, repeating a phrase about a growling bear ridge, the same one you heard on the ocean. The boy follows, stumbling on a note, but correcting himself, his face serious now. The crafting of a singing map, you see, is a ritual, a passing of knowledge that demands precision. Historians still argue whether these songs were taught formally like a school, or absorbed organically through daily life. You're leaning toward a mix, feeling the elder's authority, her teaching structured yet woven into the family's rhythm, like the chant itself, both lesson and love. You lean closer, the lamp's flicker casting shadows on the elder's face, her hands tracing invisible paths in the air. She sings of a constellation, its stars linked to a safe channel, then shifts to a pop-pop crunch for cracking ice, a sound you recognize from the kayak's perilous dance. The song is a tapestry blending celestial cues, ocean sounds, and earthly landmarks, each note a stitch in the family's survival. You laugh softly, imagining trying to teach your friends a song for the subway. Yeah, you'd be humming delayed train blues in no time. The singing maps, unlike the Byzantine folder's fragile papyrus, are resilient, carried in voices, not ink immune to the Arctic's bite. The family joins in the hunter's deep voice, grounding the melody, the wife's softer tones adding harmony. You notice the children watching the elder's hands, her gestures, as much a part of the song as the notes mapping the sky and sea in motion. The teaching is a dance, a balance of repetition and trust, ensuring the map lives in their minds. You yawn, the lamp's glow, and the chant's cadence blending with the ocean's lap, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. You think of that snoring seal mnemonic, and it hits you. These songs aren't just maps. They're joy, binding the family through laughter, and lessons a shield against the cold. You glance at the kayaks, their sealskin frames gleaming ready for the next journey. The elder's chant slows her eyes on the children, her voice a quiet challenge to remember. The boy tries again, nailing the growling bear note. This time, his sister nodding approval. The singing map's crafting is a labor of love, a burden the children carry with pride. Their voices, the future of the family's path. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to chaos. Here the songs endure their oral strength, a testament to the Inuit's resilience. You laugh again, picturing yourself mangling a star's name and earning the elder's scowl. Sorry, ma'am, I'm no seal snorer. You linger on the shore, the family's voices softening as the lesson ends, the chant now a gentle hum. The Arctic Ocean stretches before you. Its ice a glittering puzzle, but the singing maps make it navigable. A path woven in melody that binds the family to the stars, the sea, and each other. You feel the weight of their craft born from necessity and nurtured by love, a system that carries them where others would falter. The twilight deepens the cold, wrapping you tighter, and you're ready to follow deeper to see how these songs unite the family. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep. The singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're huddled once more in the sealskin tent, the Arctic wind rattling the frame, its howl softened by the thick hides. Inside, the air is warm, scented, with the smoky tang of seal oil and the faint earthiness of caribou furs. The Inuit family surrounds a flickering lamp, its light dancing on their faces, elder, hunter, wife, and children, their voices rising in a unified chant, a singing map that charts the frozen ocean. You're here to see their harmonized survival, how these melodies bind them, turning individual voices into a collective lifeline that navigates ice flows and stars. The song's rhythm wraps you like a blanket, and you're ready to feel its power. You settle on the fur-lined floor, your parka rustling the cold, a distant memory in the tent's glow. The elder leads her voice, steady singing of a safe channel marked by a growling bear ridge, a phrase you recognize from the shore. The hunter joins his deeper tone, grounding the melody, while the wife's softer voice weaves harmony, and the children's high notes add a delicate thread. Historical records confirm that Inuit families relied on collective knowledge, with each member contributing to survival tasks from hunting to navigation, their unity a shield against the Arctic's harshness. This chant, you realize, is their strength, a singing map that thrives on their shared voices, guiding kayaks where the ice whispers treachery. You smirk as the boy, that mischievous kid from the kayak, sneaks a playful whoosh into his part, mimicking waves, and earning a grin from his sister. Tone it down, seal whisperer, you mutter, chuckling at his spark. The quirky truth is that Inuit families sometimes added personal flourishes to songs, like unique hums or trills to mark their family's version of a map. One tale claims a family's giggling gull sound became a local landmark, passed down through generations. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of gull giggles and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the chant's unity, each voice a vital stitch in the family's survival. The song shifts, describing a star's arc, Polaris, the unwavering guide, and a hidden shoal's depth. The notes precise, each voice reinforcing the others. You imagine the family in their kayaks, paddling through ice, this harmony keeping them in sync, their strokes timed to the melody's rhythm. The Arctic's dangers cracking ice. Sudden storms, open leads loom outside, but the chant is a fortress binding them against the cold. Historians still argue whether singing maps were a family's private code, or a shared community resource taught across clans. You're leaning toward family feeling the intimacy of their voices. This song, a unique tapestry woven from their shared journeys, not unlike the Byzantine folder's personal seals. You lean closer, the lamp's flicker warming your face, the family's harmony, a living pulse. The elder's voice holds the melody's core, but the hunter's strength, the wife's grace, and the children's clarity make it whole, each note a role in their survival. You laugh softly, imagining trying to harmonize with your family on a road trip. Yeah, you'd be belting Wrong Turn Blues by mile 2. The singing maps, unlike the Byzantine folder's fragile papyrus, are resilient, their strength in this unity voices carrying what ink could never hold. You think back to the snoring seal mnemonic, the pop-pop crunch of ice, and realize this chant is a language speaking the ocean's secrets through their collective breath. The tent feels smaller, the family's closeness a shield against the Arctic's vastness. You notice the hunter carving a bone tool, his hands steady, his voice unwavering, the chant shaping his work. The wife adjusts the lamp, her hum soft but sure, while the children practice the boy. Now focus, the girl's notes clear as starlight. You yawn, the lamp's glow, and the chant's cadence blending with the wind's faint howl, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. The family's harmony is their power, each voice a thread in the singing map, guiding them through flows, storms, and stars, a lifeline that no ice can break. You glance at the children, their eyes bright, absorbing the song, their small voices carrying the weight of future journeys. The elder watches them, her face soft with pride, her chant a gift and a challenge. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to chaos, unlike these songs which endure through love and memory. You laugh again, picturing yourself botching a note and earning the boy's teasing grin. Sorry kid, I'm no gull giggler. The chant holds you, its harmony, a promise of safety, a reminder that survival is not just skill, but togetherness, a family bound by song. You linger in the tent, the family's voices softening as the chant slows, a gentle hum now, like the ocean's own breath. The Arctic waits beyond its ice and stars unyielding, but the singing maps make it navigable, a path woven in harmony that carries the family where others would falter. You feel the weight of their unity, the tent a beacon in the dark, its warmth a testament to their strength. The night deepens, the cold a whisper outside, and you're ready to follow deeper to see how the stars anchor these songs. The chant's echo guides you, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're standing on a frozen bluff overlooking the Arctic Ocean, its ice floes shimmering under a sky ablaze with stars. The air is crisp, biting your cheeks, scented with the faint salt of the sea and the cold purity of snow. The Inuit family you've followed is nearby, their kayaks beached below, their voices rising in a soft chant that weaves the heavens into their singing map. You're here to explore how the stars anchor these melodies, their patterns embedded in songs that guide families through the frozen seas. The chant's rhythm hums like a celestial pulse, and you're ready to trace its stellar threads. You step closer to the family, your boots crunching on the icy ground. The stars above, so bright, they seem to whisper their own song. The elder leads the chant, her voice steady singing of Polaris, the North Star, a fixed point that never wavers. She points to it, her hand tracing its arc, then shifts to a constellation, perhaps the Great Bear, its stars linked to a safe channel between ice flows. Historical records note that Inuit navigators used celestial navigation honed over millennia to traverse Arctic waters, their songs embedding star patterns with landmarks like currents and ridges. These singing maps, you realize, are cosmic, tying the family to the heavens as much as the sea. You smirk as the boy, that cheeky kid from the tent, tries to mimic the elder's star-pointing gesture, waving his arm so wildly he nearly topples into his sister. Star Tickler, calm down, you mutter, chuckling at his enthusiasm. The quirky truth is that some Inuit songs included star nicknames, like the seal's lantern for a bright star, making them easier for kids to remember. One tale claims a family called Polaris the Stubborn One, for its refusal to move a name that stuck across generations. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of starry nicknames, and grin. But the humor fades as you feel the chant's weight, each note a celestial anchor in the Arctic's chaos. The elder's song weaves Polaris into a melody about a growling bear ridge, linking its steady light to a coastal landmark you recall from the kayak's dance. The hunter joins his voice, deep singing of a star cluster that marks a hidden shoal, while the wife and children add harmony, their notes tying the heavens to the ice below. You imagine paddling under this sky, the song your compass, the stars your map, guiding you through flows where the ice's treachery waits. Historians still argue whether Inuit star-based navigation was primarily practical or held spiritual significance, a way to honor the sky's spirits. You're leaning toward both feeling the chant's rhythm, not just pointing the way, but binding the family to the cosmos, a prayer against the dark. You kneel beside the elder, the lamps glow from below, casting her face in soft light, her eyes fixed on the stars. She sings of a pop-pop crunch for cracking ice, a sound you know, then ties it to a star's position, creating a map that spans earth and sky. The song's precision is breathtaking. Its celestial anchors, Polaris the Great Bear, steady in a world where ice shifts daily. You laugh softly, imagining trying to navigate your commute by stars. Yeah, you'd be stargazing at a traffic light, humming Lost Again blues. The singing maps, unlike the Byzantine folder's fragile papyrus, are eternal, their starry notes carried in voices untouched by the Arctic's bite. The family's chant grows stronger, their voices a chorus that feels like a bridge to the heavens. You notice the children watching the sky, the girl pointing to a star, her small voice naming it correctly. The boy following his earlier antics replaced by focus. The stars are their teachers, their light woven into the family's survival. Each melody a lesson in cosmic navigation. You yawn, the cold seeping into your bones, the chant's cadence blending with the wind's soft moan, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. You think of the snoring seal mnemonic, the whoosh of waves, and realize the stars are the song's heart, their patterns a constant in the Arctic's ever-changing sea. You glance at the kayaks below, their sealskin frames gleaming, ready for the next journey under these same stars. The elder's chant slows her eyes on the children, her voice a quiet challenge to remember the sky's map. The family's harmony is palpable, each voice a star in their constellation, guiding them through ice storms and darkness. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to chaos, unlike these songs, which endure through memory and love. You laugh again, picturing yourself botching a star's name and earning the elder's frown. Sorry, ma'am. I'm no seal lantern singer. The chant holds you its starry rhythm, a promise of safety. You linger on the bluff, the family's voices fading as they descend to their kayaks. The chant now a gentle hum like the sky's own breath. The Arctic Ocean stretches below its ice, a glittering puzzle, but the singing maps make it navigable, a path woven in starlight that binds the family to the cosmos, the sea, and each other. You feel the weight of their celestial craft, born from necessity and guided by the heavens, a system that carries them where others would falter. The night deepens, the stars brighter, and you're ready to follow deeper, to paddle with their songs. The chant's echo guides you, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're back in the sealskin kayak, the Arctic Ocean's icy grip tightening around you, the paddle in your hands slick with frost as you navigate a narrow channel between towering ice floes. The air is sharp, stinging your face, scented with the briny tang of sea and the cold bite of snow. The Inuit family paddles ahead, their kayaks gliding like shadows, their singing map a steady chant cutting through the wind's eerie howl. You're here to paddle through the ice's perilous dance, guided by the song's rhythm, where one wrong move could send you plunging into the black water below. The chant's melody steadies your strokes, and you're ready to follow its path. You dip your paddle, the kayak slicing through the channel, the ice walls so close you could touch their jagged edges. The elder's voice leads, singing of Polaris, the stubborn one, its light a beacon above, tied to a growling bear ridge you must avoid. The hunter's deeper notes describe a current's pull, while the wife and children's harmonies weave in a whoosh of waves marking a safe passage. Historical records confirm that Inuit kayakers mastered Arctic navigation, traveling thousands of miles across waters from Nunavut to Greenland, their singing maps, a precise oral system honed over centuries. You feel the song's pulse, sinking your paddle to its rhythm, a lifeline in this deadly maze. You smirk as the boy, that mischievous star tickler, adds a dramatic pop-pop to the chant, mimicking cracking ice and earning a soft laugh from his sister. Keep it chill, wave caller, you mutter, chuckling at his flair. The quirky truth is that Inuit kayakers sometimes use song cues to signal mid-journey corrections, like a sharp note to warn of shifting ice. One tale claims a singer's sudden squawking gull note saved a family from a collapsing floe. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga wincing at a scroll full of gull squawks and laugh. But the humor fades as you feel the kayak lurch aflow, scraping the hull, the song's precision your only guide. The chant shifts a higher note, signaling a tight turn ahead, the ice closing in like a trap. You paddle harder, following the hunter's lead, his kayak weaving through the narrowing channel, the song's tempo dictating each stroke. The ice's treachery is relentless. Open water glints to your right, a deceptively calm lead, while a floe to your left groans threatening to shift. Historians still argue whether singing maps were more about memorized paths or real-time adaptation to the ice's whims. You're leaning toward adaptation, feeling the song. Adjust a pause for a star's alignment. A quick pop crunch for weak ice, keeping you alive as the ocean tests your nerve. You glance at the sky, Polaris blazing its light woven into the chant's cadence, a constant in this shifting world. The family's unity is your anchor. The elder's voice steers, the hunter's strength drives, the wife's harmony balances, and the children's notes sharpen the map. You laugh softly, imagining your GPS app choking on this ice. No bars, no signal, just a sad, recalculating whimper. The singing maps are a marvel far nimbler than the Byzantine folder's papyrus piles drowned by complaints like insulted figs. Here every note is survival, every harmony a path through the Arctic's jaws, guiding your kayak where others would falter. The wind surges snow, stinging your eyes, and you squint to keep the family's kayaks in sight. The song's rhythm quickens, signaling a perilous stretch. Ice floes crowd closer, their surfaces slick, ready to crush. Your heart pounds, but the elder's voice pulls you through her whoosh, marking a safe exit. You think back to the snoring seal mnemonic, the growling bear ridge, and realize the song is a living map, speaking the ocean's secrets in ways no app could match. You yawn, the cold seeping into your bones, the chant's cadence blending with the water's lap, a soothing hum that calms your fear. The ice's peril looms, but the song is your shield, a fragile but fierce lifeline. You notice the girl, her small hands steady on her paddle, her voice clear despite the danger singing of a star cluster that marks a safe harbor. She's learning her notes vital to the map, a future guide born on this frozen sea. The family's trust in the song is unshakable, their voices a chorus against the Arctic's silence, each member a thread in this delicate dance. You feel a pang, remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its order lost to chaos, unlike these songs which endure through memory and unity. You laugh again, picturing yourself flubbing a squawking gull note and drifting into an ice trap. Sorry, elder, I'm no star singer. The chant holds you its rhythm, a promise of safety. You linger in the kayak, the family's voices steady as they clear the perilous stretch, the ice parting like a grudging gate. The Arctic Ocean stretches vast, its dangers ever present, but the singing maps make it navigable, a path carved in melody that binds the family to the stars, the sea, and each other. You feel the weight of their resilience. The kayak a fragile shell against the ice's might, yet strong in the song's embrace. The twilight deepens, the cold wrapping you tighter, and you're ready to follow deeper, to hear the women's voices rise. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're seated on a rocky outcrop along the Arctic coast, the frozen ocean stretching before you, its ice floes glinting under a twilight sky, streaked with pale pinks. The air's biting, scented with the sharp tang of salt and the faint musk of sealskin from nearby kayaks. The Inuit family you followed gathers below, their voices rising in a singing map, but now the women, the elder and the wife, take the lead, their melodies weaving a path through the ice. You're here to hear how women's voices shape these journeys, their songs a vital force in guiding families across the treacherous seas. The chant's rhythm wraps you like a warm fur, and you're ready to listen to its power. You shift on the cold stone, your parka rustling in the wind, carrying the women's voices clear and steady above the family's harmony. The elder sings of Polaris, the stubborn one, her notes anchoring the melody to a safe channel, while the wife's voice weaves in a whoosh of waves marking a hidden shoal. Historical records note that Inuit women played crucial roles in navigation, their knowledge of stars, currents, and ice often equal to men's passed down through oral traditions like singing maps. These women, you realize, are the family's compass, their voices a lifeline guiding kayaks where the ice's treachery waits. You smirk as the boy, that mischievous wave caller, tries to mimic his mother's whoosh, with an over-the-top puff earning a playful eye roll from his sister. Pipe down, puff fish, you mutter, chuckling at his antics. The quirky truth is that Inuit women sometimes added story songs to maps, blending navigation with tales of ancestors like a grandmother who outwitted a storm. One legend claims a woman singing seal lullaby doubled as a route marker, soothing children while guiding kayaks. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of seal lullabies, and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the women's voices, their strength a cornerstone of the family's survival. The elder's chant shifts, describing a growling bear ridge, her tone firm, while the wife sings of a star cluster, her notes soft but precise, tying the heavens to the sea. You imagine the family paddling the women's voices, leading their songs, steering through ice flows and storms. The Arctic's dangers cracking ice-hidden currents loom, but their melodies are a shield harmonizing with the hunters' and children's voices to form a map that breathes. Historians still argue whether women's roles in Inuit navigation were equal to men's or held unique spiritual weight, connecting songs to the Arctic spirits. You're leaning toward equal feeling, the women's authority, their voices as vital as any paddle, not unlike the Byzantine folder's clerks, though far more enduring. You lean forward, the lamps glow from the family's camp, casting shadows on the women's faces, their eyes fixed on the horizon. The elder gestures to the girl, who steps up, her small voice, singing a phrase about a pop-pop crunch for weak ice learned from her mother. The wife nods her harmony, reinforcing the girl's notes, a passing of knowledge that ensures the family's path. You laugh softly, imagining trying to lead your family in a song. Yeah, you'd be croaking off-key blues by verse 2. The singing maps, unlike the Byzantine folder's fragile papyrus, are resilient, carried in women's voices, a legacy that defies the Arctic's cold. The family's chant grows stronger, the women's voices, the melody's heart blending starlight, ocean sounds and memory into a map that guides their kayaks. You notice the hunter listening, his paddle resting his trust in the women's song, absolute, a balance that binds the family. You yawn, the wind's howl, softening the chant's cadence, blending with the distant lap of waves, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. You think back to the singing seal lullaby, the snoring seal mnemonic, and realize the women's songs are both map and memory, weaving survival with love, a harmony that holds the Arctic at bay. You glance at the girl, her eyes bright, practicing a note about a safe harbor, her mother's hand guiding her. The elder watches her face, soft with pride, her voice a beacon for the family's future. The women's songs are a gift, shaping journeys with precision and care, their voices the thread that ties the family to the stars, the sea, and each other. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to chaos, unlike these songs which endure through generations. You laugh again, picturing yourself botching a whoosh and earning the wife's teasing smile. Sorry, ma'am, I'm no seal singer. You linger on the outcrop, the family's voices steady as they prepare their kayaks, the women's melodies fading into a gentle hum, like the ocean's own breath. The Arctic stretches vast, its ice a glittering trap, but the singing maps, led by women's voices, make it navigable, a path woven in song that carries the family where others would falter. You feel the weight of their resilience, the camp's warmth, a testament to their strength, and you're ready to follow deeper to see how children learn these melodies. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps, a lullaby, in the Arctic's endless night. You are perched on a snow-dusted ridge, the Arctic Ocean sprawling below its ice floes, shimmering under a twilight sky aglow with stars. The air is sharp, biting your nose, scented with the crisp tang of frost, and the faint musk of sealskin from the Inuit family's camp nearby. The family gathers around a seal oil lamp, its flicker casting shadows as the children, a boy and girl, practice a singing map, their small voices rising under the watchful eyes of the elder and their parents. You're here to watch these young ones memorize the melodies that will guide their kayaks through the frozen seas, a legacy of survival etched in song. The chant's rhythm wraps you like a warm hide, and you're ready to witness its teaching. You settle on the cold ridge, your parka rustling the wind, carrying the children's voices, tentative but growing steadier. The girl sings of Polaris, the stubborn one, her notes high and clear, naming a safe channel tied to its light. while the boy follows his voice, wobbling on a growling bear ridge, but firming with each try. Historical records note that Inuit children were taught navigational songs from a young age, their oral traditions ensuring survival knowledge passed seamlessly across generations, from Baffin Island to Greenland's coasts. These singing maps, you realize, are the children's inheritance, their voices a lifeline for future journeys through the ice's treachery. You smirk as the boy that mischievous pufffish slips in, a playful pop-pop for cracking ice, earning a giggle from his sister, and a mock-stern glance from the elder. Focused little seal, you mutter, chuckling at his spark. The quirky truth is that Inuit children often learn songs through games like Song Tag, where they chase each other while chanting routes, making memorization fun. One tale claims a girl won a game by nailing a squawking gull note, later saving her family from a hidden shoal. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of game chants and grin, but the humor fades as you see the children's focus, their small voices carrying the weight of survival. The elder guides them, her chant slow and deliberate, repeating a phrase about a star cluster marking a safe harbor, her hands tracing its pattern in the air. The girl echoes it perfectly, her eyes bright, while the boy stumbles, then corrects his sister, nudging him with encouragement. The teaching is patient, a dance of repetition and trust, ensuring the map lives in their minds. Historians still argue whether Inuit children learned singing maps as a formal duty or through playful immersion in family life. You're leaning toward immersion, feeling the warmth of the camp, the children's learning woven into their daily rhythm, like the Byzantine folder's clerks, though far more joyful and enduring. You lean closer, the lamps glow, warming the family's faces, the children's voices blending with their parents in a soft harmony. The wife sings a whoosh of waves, reinforcing the melody, while the hunter hums low, grounding it. The song is a tapestry, weaving stars, ocean sounds, and landmarks, each note a lesson in survival. You laugh softly, imagining trying to teach your kids a song for the grocery store. Yeah, you'd be stuck humming Lost in Aisle 5 blues. The singing maps, unlike the Byzantine folder's fragile papyrus, are resilient, carried in young voices, a legacy that laughs at the Arctic's cold. The family's chant grows stronger, the children's notes clearer, their confidence blooming under the elder's gaze. You notice the girl gesturing to a star, her small hands steady her voice, naming it as her mother taught her, a future navigator in the making. The boy follows his pop-pop crunch for weak ice, now spot on, his grin proud. You yawn, the wind's howl softening the chant's cadence, blending with a distant creak of ice, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. You think back to the singing seal lullaby, the snoring seal mnemonic, and realize these songs are both map and memory, teaching survival with love, a melody that holds the Arctic's dangers at bay. You glance at the kayaks, their sealskin frames gleaming, waiting for the journeys these children will one day lead. The elder's voice slows her eyes on the young ones, a quiet challenge to carry the map forward. The parents' harmony supports them, a chorus that binds the family to the stars, the sea, and each other. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to chaos, unlike these songs which endure through the children's voices, a testament to Inuit resilience. You laugh again, picturing yourself flubbing a squawking gull note and earning the girl's teasing smirk. Sorry, kid, I'm no star chanter. You linger on the ridge, the family's voices steady as they practice the children's melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the ocean's own breath. The Arctic stretches vast, its ice a glittering puzzle, but the singing maps, learned by young hearts, make it navigable, a path woven in song that carries the family where others would falter. You feel the weight of their learning, the camp's warmth, a beacon in the dark, and you're ready to follow deeper, to ponder the map's origins. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You are seated on a driftwood log by the Arctic coast, the frozen ocean stretching before you, its ice floes glinting under a twilight sky dusted with stars. The air is crisp, scented with the briny tang of sea and the faint musk of sealskin from the Inuit family's nearby camp. Their voices carry softly a singing map, weaving Polaris and a growling bear ridge into a melody that guides their kayaks. You're here to ponder the murky origins of these singing maps, a question that stirs debate among scholars, its roots lost in the Arctic's timeless night. The chant's rhythm wraps you like a quiet tide, and you're ready to sift through the mystery. You shift on the log, your parka rustling the cold seeping through as you gaze at the family's lamplit camp. The elder leads the song, her voice steady, joined by the wife hunter and children, their harmony a lifeline through the ice. The singing maps you've learned are a marvel blending stars, currents, and sounds like the whoosh of waves or pop-pop crunch of ice. Historical records confirm that Inuit oral traditions spanning millennia preserved navigational knowledge with precision guiding families across Arctic waters, from Nunavut to Greenland. But where did these songs begin? You feel the weight of the question like a star hidden behind clouds, its light faint but beckoning. You smirk as the boy, that mischievous little seal, sneaks a playful squawking gull note into the chant, earning a chuckle from his sister. Tone it down, gull tamer, you mutter, grinning at his spark. The quirky truth is that some Inuit songs included origin tales, claiming maps came from mythical figures, like a seal spirit who sang the first route to a safe harbor. One legend tells of a star that taught a lost hunter a melody guiding him home. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of seal spirit songs, and laugh, but the humor fades as you dive into the debate, the origins of these maps, as elusive as the Arctic's shifting ice. Scholars puzzle over whether singing maps were a deliberate invention crafted by ancient navigators to tame the ocean or an organic evolution growing from stories and survival needs. Some argue a single genius like the elder perhaps wove the first song, blending stars and sounds, into a system that spread across clans. Others say the maps emerged collectively, each family adding notes over centuries, like the snoring seal or giggling gull mnemonics you've heard. Historians still argue whether the map's origins lie in practical necessity or spiritual reverence, a gift from the Arctic spirits. You're leaning toward a mix, feeling the chant's precision, its notes, both a guide and a prayer. Not unlike the Byzantine folder's clerks, though far more enduring. You lean closer to the camp, the lamps flicker, casting shadows on the family's faces, their song a living thread to the past. The elder sings of a star cluster, her voice tying it to a safe channel, while the wife adds a whoosh for waves, their harmony seamless. You wonder if the first map was sung under these same stars, a desperate bid to survive, or a joyful creation born from love of the sea. The debate swirls its answers lost in time, but the song's power is undeniable, guiding kayaks where the ice's treachery waits. You laugh softly, imagining trying to debate origins with your friends. Yeah, you'd be arguing over lost GPS blues by now. The family's chant grows softer, the children's voices practicing a pop-pop crunch for weak ice. They're learning a bridge to the map's roots. You think back to the singing seal lullaby, the growling bear ridge, and realize the songs are a tapestry weaving necessity, memory, and maybe a touch of the divine. The Arctic's vastness looms, its silence, broken by the family's melody, a system that endures where the Byzantine folder crumbled under chaos. You yawn, the winds howl, fading the chant's cadence, blending with the ocean's lap, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. The origins remain a riddle, but the map's purpose shines a lifeline for the family's journeys. You glance at the kayaks, their sealskin frames gleaming, ready for paths these songs will chart. The elder's voice slows her eyes on the stars, as if seeking the map's first singer, her chant a quiet nod to the past. The family's harmony binds them, each note, a clue to origins lost but alive in their voices. You feel a pang, remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system forgotten, unlike these songs which carry the Arctic's secrets through generations. You laugh again, picturing yourself botching a squawking gull note and sparking a debate with the elder. Sorry, ma'am, I'm no star seal singer. The chant holds you its rhythm, a promise of clarity. You linger on the log, the family's voices fading into a gentle hum, like the sea's own breath. The Arctic Ocean stretches vast, its ice, a glittering puzzle, but the singing maps, whatever their origins, make it navigable. A path woven in melody that carries the family where others would falter. You feel the weight of the debate, its questions a soft echo of the stars, and you're ready to follow deeper, to face the storms these songs defy. The night deepens, the chant's echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're back in the sealskin kayak, the Arctic Ocean roiling beneath you, its ice floes grinding as a blizzard's howl engulfs the world in swirling white. The air is a frozen knife stinging your eyes, scented with the raw bite of snow, and the faint salt of the sea now lost in the storm's chaos. The Inuit family paddles nearby, their kayaks mere shadows in the blinding gusts, their singing map a steady chant cutting through the wind's roar. You're here to face the storm, saved by the rhythmic chants that guide you through the ice's treachery and the blizzard's wrath. The song's pulse steadies your paddle, and you're ready to trust its power. You grip the paddle, your mittens slick with ice, the kayak rocking as waves churn beneath the flows. The elder's voice leads singing of Polaris, the stubborn one, its light hidden by the storm, but etched in her melody tied to a growling bear ridge you must find. The wife's clear notes weave a whoosh of waves, marking a safe channel, while the hunter and children's harmonies hold the rhythm a lifeline in the blizzard's fury. Historical records confirm that Inuit navigators braved extreme weather, their singing maps, guiding them through storms that would shatter lesser systems honed over millennia across Arctic waters, from Nunavut to Greenland. You feel the song's strength sinking your strokes to its beat, a beacon in this frozen tempest. You smirk as the boy, that mischievous gull tamer, sneaks a playful pop-pop into the chant, mimicking cracking ice despite the storm's din, earning a faint smile from his sister. Save it for clear skies, snow clown, you mutter, chuckling at his nerve. The quirky truth is that Inuit songs sometimes included storm cues like sharp trills to signal sudden gusts, keeping kayakers alert. One tale claims a singer's howling wolf note warned her family of a blizzard shift, saving them from an open lead. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of wolf howls and grin, but the humor fades as the kayak lurches aflow, scraping the hull, the song's precision your only anchor. The chant quickens a high note signaling a tight passage ahead, the ice closing in as the blizzard blinds you. You paddle fiercely, following the hunter's lead, his kayak weaving through the narrowing channel, the song's tempo a heartbeat against the storm's roar. The ice's treachery is relentless. Open water glints faintly through the snow, a trap, while a floe groans ready to crush. Historians still argue whether singing maps were designed for calm seas or crafted to withstand storms adapting to chaos. You're leaning toward storms, feeling the song shift, a pause for a hidden current, a pop-pop crunch for weak ice, keeping you alive as the blizzard tests your will. You squint into the whiteout Polaris invisible, but the song's memory of its light guides you, a celestial anchor woven into the chant. The family's unity is your salvation. The elder's voice steers, the wife's clarity sharpens, the hunter's strength drives, and the children's notes, small but fierce, bind the map. You laugh softly, imagining your weather app crashing in this storm. No signal, just a useless try again later. The singing maps are a marvel, far tougher than the Byzantine folder's papyrus, drowned by complaints like insulted figs. Here every note is life, every harmony a path through the Arctic's rage, guiding your kayak where others would perish. The wind screams snow, clogging your vision, but the elder's whoosh pierces the chaos, signaling a safe exit from the passage. Your heart pounds, but the song pulls you through its rhythm, a thread in the storm's tangle. You think back to the snoring seal lullaby, the squawking gull note, and realize the chant is a shield speaking the ocean's secrets, even when the world turns to white. You yawn, the cold seeping into your bones, the chant's cadence blending with the storm's fading howl, a soothing hum that calms your fear. The blizzard's fury rages, but the song is your fortress, a fragile but unyielding lifeline. You notice the girl, her small voice steady despite the storm singing of a star cluster that marks a sheltered cove. Her notes learned from her mother's lessons. She's a beacon, her courage woven into the map, a future guide defying the tempest. The family's trust in the song is absolute, their voices a chorus against the Arctic's chaos, each member a vital note, elder, wife, hunter, children. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its order lost to turmoil, unlike these songs which endure through storms and memory. You laugh again, picturing yourself flubbing a howling wolf note and drifting into the blizzard's jaws. Sorry, elder, I'm no storm singer. The chant holds you its rhythm, a promise of safety. You linger in the kayak, the family's voices steady as they clear the passage. The storm's grip loosening the ice, parting like a grudging gate. The Arctic Ocean stretches vast, its dangers unrelenting, but the singing maps born to defy blizzards make it navigable, a path carved in melody that binds the family to the stars, the sea, and each other. You feel the weight of their resilience. The kayak, a fragile shell against the storm's might, yet strong in the song's embrace. The twilight deepens the cold, wrapping you tighter, and you're ready to follow deeper to see how communities trade these songs. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep. The singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're standing on a windswept Arctic beach, the frozen ocean lapping at the pebbled shore, its ice floes glinting under a twilight sky streaked with faint auroras. The air is sharp, scented with the briny tang of salt and the musky warmth of sealskin tents clustered nearby. Two Inuit families, one yours, with the elder hunter wife and children, another from a distant clan meet in a rare gathering, their voices mingling in chants that weave singing maps. You're here to witness communities swap these melodies, trading knowledge like treasures to survive the frozen seas. The song's rhythms blend like a shared heartbeat, and you're ready to join the exchange. You step closer to the gathering, your boots crunching on frosty pebbles, the cold biting through your parka as the families form a loose circle around a seal oil lamp. The elder from your family leads her voice steady singing of Polaris, the stubborn one, and a growling bear ridge, a map you know well. The visiting elder responds her chant, weaving a howling wolf note for a hidden current, a route new to your clan. Historical records note that Inuit communities spread across vast Arctic regions from Nunavut to Greenland often traded navigational knowledge, their oral traditions fostering alliances through shared songs. These exchanges, you realize, are lifelines enriching singing maps to outwit the ice's treachery. You smirk as the boy, that mischievous gull tamer, tries to mimic the visiting elder's howling wolf with an exaggerated yowl, earning giggles from the other children. Easy wolf pup, you mutter, chuckling at his zest. The quirky truth is that Inuit trading sessions sometimes included song contests, where singers competed to recall routes with flair, like adding dramatic trills or animal sounds. One tale claims a young singer's dancing seal flourish won her clan a vital map for a safe harbor. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of seal dance notes, and grin. But the humor fades as you feel the chant's weight, each melody a gift that binds clans against the Arctic's wrath. The visiting elder sings of a star cluster marking a sheltered cove, her voice blending with your elders in a harmony that feels like a pact. The hunter from your family joins, offering a pop-pop crunch. For weak ice, a warning the visitors absorb their children practicing the note. You imagine kayaks from both clans navigating these shared routes, the traded song saving lives across distant waters. Historians still argue whether singing map exchanges were formal trade agreements or informal gatherings driven by mutual need. You're leaning toward need, feeling the warmth of the camp, the sharing as natural as the chant's rhythm, unlike the Byzantine folder's rigid bureaucracy, which crumbled under chaos. You lean closer, the lamps flicker casting shadows on the singers' faces, their voices weaving a tapestry of stars, currents, and ice. The wife from your family adds a whoosh of waves, reinforcing a route, while the visiting hunter sings a squawking gull note for a shoal, a gift your clan will carry. The exchange is a dance, each song a trade of trust, ensuring survival in a world where storms and flows spare no one. You laugh softly, imagining trying to trade directions with your neighbors. Yeah, you'd be swapping wrong turn blues for a shortcut. The singing maps, unlike the Byzantine folder's fragile papyrus, are resilient, their melodies carried across clans defying the Arctic's cold. The children from both families practice together, the girl from your clan nailing the howling wolf note, her voice blending with the visiting boy's pop-pop crunch. The elders nod, their eyes bright with pride, the trading a bridge between generations and clans. You yawn, the wind's howl softening the chant's cadence, blending with the ocean's lap, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. You think back to the singing seal lullaby, the snoring seal mnemonic, and realize these traded songs are both map and bond, weaving survival with community, a harmony that holds the Arctic at bay. You glance at the kayaks, their sealskin frames gleaming ready for journeys enriched by these shared maps. The visiting elder's voice slows her chant, merging with your family's, a promise to meet again, to trade more songs. The family's harmonies intertwine each note, a thread tying clans to the stars, the sea, and each other. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to turmoil. Unlike these songs which endure through shared voices, a testament to Inuit resilience. You laugh again, picturing yourself flubbing a dancing seal note and earning the children's giggles. Sorry folks, I'm no wolf howler. The chants hold you their rhythm, a promise of unity. You linger on the beach, the family's voices steady as they share final notes, the melodies fading into a gentle hum, like the sea's own breath. The Arctic stretches vast, its ice, a glittering puzzle, but the singing maps traded between clans make it navigable, a path woven in song that carries communities where others would falter. You feel the weight of their sharing the camp's warmth, a beacon in the dark, and you're ready to follow deeper, to track hunters with these songs. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps, a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're crouched on a snow-crusted ice floe, the Arctic Ocean stretching around you, its surface a patchwork of floes and open leads shimmering under a starlit sky. The air sharp, biting your cheeks, scented with the briny tang of sea and the faint musk of seal breath carried on the wind. The Inuit hunter from the family you followed stands nearby, his harpoon poised, his eyes scanning the water as he hums a singing map, its melody guiding him to hidden seal hunting grounds. You're here to track seals with these songs, their notes revealing secret routes through the ice's treachery. The chant's rhythm steadies your breath, and you're ready to follow its path. You shift on the floe, your parka rustling, the cold seeping through as you watch the hunter move with quiet precision. His song, low and steady, weaves Polaris, the stubborn one, into a growling bear ridge, marking a path to a breathing hole where seals surface. The melody shifts, a whoosh of waves, signaling a nearby current, a route only the song reveals. Historical records confirm that Inuit hunters used singing maps not just for navigation, but for hunting, their oral traditions honed over millennia, embedding knowledge of seal habits and ice patterns across regions from Nunavut to Greenland. You feel the song's pulse guiding you to the hunt, a lifeline in this frozen maze. You smirk as the boy, that mischievous wolf pup, creeps up behind his father, mimicking the whoosh with a dramatic puff, nearly startling a seal that bobs up nearby. Hush, seal scarer, you mutter, chuckling at his grin. The quirky truth is that Inuit hunting songs sometimes included animal calls, like a seal's bark to lure prey closer or mark their haunts. One tale claims a hunter's grumbling walrus note drew a curious seal right to his harpoon. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of walrus grumbles and laugh, but the humor fades as you see the hunter's focus, his song a precise map to the seal's hidden world, where the ice hides both prey and peril. The hunter's chant deepens, a pop-pop crunch, warning of weak ice near the breathing hole, his voice blending starlight and ocean sounds into a path you can almost see. You imagine stalking across the floes, the song leading you to seals, where others would find only ice. The Arctic's dangers, thin ice sudden, leads lurking polar bears loom, but the melody is a guide, its notes, a shield against the sea's treachery. Historians still argue whether hunting songs were distinct from navigational maps, or part of the same system tailored for prey. You're leaning toward one system, feeling the chant's versatility, its howling wolf or squawking gull, notes serving both kayak and harpoon, unlike the Byzantine folder's rigid papyrus, lost to chaos. You lean closer, the starlight casting the hunter's shadow on the ice, his eyes locked on the breathing hole, his song, a quiet hum now. He pauses, listening for the seal's telltale splash, the melody guiding his timing, each note a clue to the prey's rhythm. You laugh softly, imagining trying to hunt with your phone's map app. Yeah, you'd be Googling where's the seal while the ice cracks. The singing maps carried in voice are resilient, their routes to hunting grounds as vital as paths through storms, a system that endures where the Byzantine folder faltered. You think back to the singing seal lullaby, the dancing seal flourish, and realize these songs are both map and hunt, weaving survival with skill. The hunter's song shifts, a high trill signaling the seal's approach, his harpoon ready as the family's voices echo faintly from the camp, reinforcing the melody. You notice the boy watching his small hum, matching his father's, learning the hunt through the song's rhythm. You yawn, the wind's howl softening the chant's cadence, blending with the ocean's lap, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. The seal surfaces, a dark shape in the water, and the hunter's song holds its notes, a path to the prey, a harmony that binds the family to the sea's bounty. The ice's silence is vast, but the chant fills it a beacon in the Arctic's dark. You glance at the family's kayaks, beached nearby, their sealskin frames, gleaming, ready for journeys, enriched by these hunting songs. The hunter's voice slows his eyes on the seal, the song a quiet guide to the perfect strike. The family's harmony, though distant, supports him, each note, a thread tying them to the stars, the sea, and the hunt. You feel a pang, remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to turmoil, unlike these songs which endure through shared knowledge and memory. You laugh again, picturing yourself flubbing a grumbling walrus note and scaring the seal away. Sorry, hunter, I'm no seal caller. The chant holds you, its rhythm, a promise of success. You linger on the flow, the hunter's voice steady as he tracks the seal, the song fading into a gentle hum, like the sea's own breath. The Arctic Ocean stretches vast, its ice, a glittering puzzle, but the singing maps guiding hunters to hidden paths make it navigable, a melody that carries the family where others would falter. You feel the weight of their skill, the flow's cold, a testament to their resilience, and you're ready to follow deeper, to feel the fragility of these songs' memory. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're seated inside a sealskin tent, the Arctic wind howling outside, its icy fingers rattling the hide walls as the frozen ocean hums beyond. The air within is warm, scented with the smoky tang of seal oil and the faint earthiness of caribou furs piled beneath you. The Inuit family gathers around a flickering lamp, their faces softened by its glow, elder hunter wife and children, their voices weaving a singing map of Polaris and a growling bear ridge. You're here to feel the fragile thread of memory that preserves these songs, a delicate chain that holds the family's survival through the ice's treachery. The chant's rhythm wraps you like a fur blanket, and you're ready to sense its weight. You shift on the furs, your parka rustling the lamp's light, dancing on the elder's weathered face. As she leads the song, her voice steady but tinged with urgency. She sings of a star cluster marking a safe harbor, a whoosh of waves guiding the way, each note a lifeline etched in her mind. Historical records note that Inuit oral traditions spanning thousands of years relied on memory alone, with no written records, to preserve navigational songs across regions like Nunavut and Greenland. These singing maps, you realize, are fragile, their survival hinging on the family's voices, a chain that could break if a single generation falters. You smirk as the boy, that mischievous seal scarer, fumbles a pop-pop crunch for weak ice, his face scrunching as his sister giggles softly. Get it right, ice bumbler, you mutter, chuckling at his pout. The quirky truth is that Inuit children sometimes invented memory games to practice songs, like repeating roots backward to test recall. One tale claims a girl saved her family by reciting a singing seal map in reverse during a storm, proving her memory's strength. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of backward chants, and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's eyes, her gaze sharp, urging the children to hold the song's fragile thread. The elder pauses, gesturing to the girl who sings a phrase about a howling wolf, current learned from the visiting clan, her voice clear despite the weight of memory. The boy tries again, his pop-pop crunch steadier now, but you sense the burden, each note must be perfect, or the map could lead to ruin. The Arctic's dangers, cracking ice blizzards, hidden shoals demand flawless recall, and you feel the fragility, like a thread stretched thin. Historians still argue whether the oral nature of singing maps made them vulnerable or resilient, their lack of writing a weakness or a strength. You're leaning toward resilience, feeling the family's unity, their voices a living archive. Unlike the Byzantine folder's papyrus lost to dust and chaos, you lean closer, the lamp's flicker warming the tent, the family's harmony, a delicate web holding the map's memory. The wife sings a squawking gull note, reinforcing the melody, while the hunter's low hum grounds it, their voices, a chorus against the Arctic's silence. You imagine the song slipping away, a forgotten note leading a kayak astray, and your chest tightens. You laugh softly, thinking of your own shaky memory. Yeah, you'd be humming "Where's My Keys" blues instead of a star map. The singing maps carried in fragile minds are a marvel, their endurance, a testament to the Inuits' care, far stronger than the Byzantine folder's fleeting order. The family's chant grows softer, the children practicing under the elders' watchful gaze, their small voices carrying the map's future. You notice the girl repeating a star's name, her eyes fixed on the elder, her memory a fragile vessel for the family's survival. The boy follows his growling bear note, now firm his effort a promise to hold the thread. You yawn, the wind's howl fading the chant's cadence, blending with the tense quiet hum, a soothing rhythm that pulls you deeper. You think of the dancing seal flourish, the snoring seal mnemonic, and realize these songs are both map and legacy. Their memory, a delicate balance of love and duty. You glance at the tent's entrance, the Arctic's vastness waiting beyond its ice. A glittering trap that tests the song's recall. The elder's voice slows her eyes on the children, a quiet challenge to keep the map alive. The family's harmony binds them each note, a link in the fragile chain tying them to the stars, the sea, and their past. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to turmoil. Unlike these songs which endure through careful voices, a testament to Inuit resilience. You laugh again, picturing yourself forgetting a howling wolf note and earning the elder's scowl. Sorry, ma'am, I'm no starkeeper. You linger in the tent, the family's voices steady as they practice the children's melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the sea's own breath. The Arctic stretches vast, its dangers unrelenting, but the singing maps preserved in fragile memory make it navigable, a path woven in song that carries the family where others would falter. You feel the weight of their duty, the tense warmth, a beacon in the dark, and you're ready to follow deeper, to face the shadows of outsiders. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep. The singing maps, a lullaby, in the Arctic's endless night. You're standing on a frostbitten Arctic shore, the frozen ocean stretching before you. Its ice floes glinting under a twilight sky, heavy with clouds. The air is sharp, scented with the briny tang of sea, and the smoky hint of a distant fire, not from the Inuit family's camp, but from a new, unfamiliar source. The family you followed huddles nearby, their sealskin tents dwarfed by the looming presence of a wooden trading post, its rough-hewn walls a stark intrusion. Their singing map once a vibrant chant of Polaris, and a growling bear ridge falters as colonial outsiders, traders, missionaries cast shadows over their tradition. You're here to see these disruptions, the threat to the songs that guide the family through the ice's treachery. The chant's rhythm wavers, and you're ready to feel its strain. You step closer to the camp, your boots crunching on icy pebbles, the cold biting through your parka as the family gathers around a seal oil lamp. The elder's voice, usually steady, carries a note of unease, singing of a howling wolf current, but her eyes dart to the trading post, where men in heavy coats barter for furs. Historical records note that, from the 17th century, European colonizers, French, British, Danish, began infiltrating Arctic regions like Nunavut and Greenland, introducing trade religion and written systems that clashed with Inuit oral traditions. The singing maps you realize are under siege, their fragile memory threatened by outsiders who dismiss them as mere songs, not lifelines. You smirk as the boy, that mischievous ice bumbler, tries to lighten the mood, slipping a playful, squawking gull note into the chant, but his sister's giggle is subdued, her eyes on the strangers. Chin up, gull tamer, you mutter, chuckling softly at his effort. The quirky truth is that some missionaries, misunderstanding Inuit songs, tried to replace them with hymns believing they'd civilized the singers. One tale claims a priest mistook a singing seal map for a pagan chant, urging its singers to pray instead. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of misread hymns, and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's tension her song, a fragile thread against the colonial tide. The wife sings a pop-pop crunch for weak ice, her voice steady but quieter, as if guarding the map from prying ears. The hunter hums low, his gaze wary, while the children practice softly, their whoosh of waves hesitant. The trading post looms, its men offering metal tools for sealskins, their maps drawn on paper, not sung, dismissing the family's melodies as folklore. You feel the weight of this disruption, the song's memory at risk, as outsiders push writing religion and trade over oral tradition. Historians still argue whether colonial influence eroded singing maps, or merely forced them underground, preserved in secret. You're leaning toward underground, feeling the family's quiet defiance, their chant a whisper of resilience, unlike the Byzantine folder's papyrus lost to chaos. You lean closer, The lamps flicker, casting shadows on the family's faces, their harmony strained but unbroken. The elder gestures to the girl who sings a star cluster's name, her voice small but fierce, clinging to the map's memory. The boy follows his growling bear note, firm, a spark of resistance against the outsider's shadow. You imagine the songs fading, replaced by paper charts or forgotten in mission schools, and your chest tightens. You laugh softly, thinking of your own reliance on apps. Yeah, you'd be lost without digital map blues, but these songs are life itself. The singing maps, though fragile, endure in the family's voices, a legacy that defies the Arctic's cold and colonial pressures. The family's chant grows hushed, the children's voices practicing under the elders' watchful gaze, their notes a quiet rebellion against the trading post's clamor. You notice the wife adjusting the lamp, her hum soft but resolute, a guardian of the map's memory. The hunter's eyes flick to the stranger's, his song, a low anchor binding the family to their tradition. You yawn, the wind's howl blending with the tense, quiet hum, the chant's cadence, a soothing rhythm that pulls you deeper. You think back to the dancing seal flourish, the snoring seal mnemonic, and realize these songs are both map and defiance, weaving survival with identity against the colonial tide. You glance at the kayaks, their sealskin frames gleaming ready for journeys. The songs must still guide despite the outsider's presence. The elder's voice slows her eyes on the children, a silent plea to hold the map's memory tight. The family's harmony persists, each note, a thread tying them to the stars, the sea, and their past, even as shadows loom. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to turmoil. Unlike these songs, which cling to life through whispered voices, a testament to Inuit resilience. You laugh again, picturing yourself botching a howling wolf note and earning the boy's teasing smirk, "Sorry kid, I'm no star singer." You linger by the camp, the family's voices steady but soft, their melodies fading into a gentle hum like the sea's own breath. The Arctic stretches vast, its ice a glittering puzzle, but the singing maps, though threatened by colonial shadows, remain navigable, a path woven in song that carries the family where others would falter. You feel the weight of their struggle, the camp's warmth, a beacon in the dark, and you're ready to follow deeper to see their resilience shine. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're crouched in the dim glow of a sealskin tent, the Arctic wind howling outside, its icy breath rattling the hides as the frozen ocean hums a low, restless tune beyond. The air inside is warm, thick, with the smoky scent of seal oil and the earthy musk of caribou furs piled beneath you. The Inuit family you followed gathers tightly around a flickering lamp, their faces resolute, elder hunter, wife and children, their voices rising in a singing map that weaves Polaris and a growling bear ridge. You're here to witness their resilience, how they cling to these melodies despite the colonial outsiders threatening to silence their tradition. The chant's rhythm wraps you like a defiant hearth, and you're ready to feel its enduring strength. You settle on the fur-lined floor, your parka rustling the lamp's light, casting fierce determination on the elder's face as she leads the song, her voice unwavering. She sings of a howling wolf current, a route traded with another clan, her notes a quiet rebellion against the trading post's looming shadow. Historical records note that from the 17th to 19th centuries, Inuit communities faced intense colonial pressures, European traders and missionaries pushing written maps, and Christian hymns disrupting oral traditions across Nunavut and Greenland. Yet the singing maps, you realize, endure their fragile memory, preserved in secret, a testament to the family's unyielding spirit. You smirk as the boy, that mischievous starkeeper, slips a playful squawking gull note into the chant, his grin defiant despite the weight of the outsider's presence. "Keep shining, gull tamer," you mutter, chuckling at his spark. The quirky truth is that some Inuit families hid their songs in disguised melodies, weaving maps into lullabies or work chants to evade missionary scrutiny. One tale claims a woman masked a singing seal map as a cradle song, fooling a priest while teaching her child. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of secret lullabies, and grin. But the humor fades as you see the elder's resolve, her song a lifeline against the colonial tide, its memory fiercely guarded. The wife sings a pop-pop crunch for weak ice, her voice steady, while the hunter's low hum grounds the melody, their harmony a shield against the outsider's clamor. The children practice softly the girl's whoosh of waves, clear the boy's growling bear note, firm their voices a promise to carry the map forward. You feel the fragility of this moment, the songs at risk of fading under colonial schools or trade's allure. Yet, the family's resilience shines, their chants whispered in defiance. Historians still argue whether Inuit singing maps survived colonialism through open resistance or covert preservation hidden in daily life. You're leaning toward covert feeling the family's quiet strength, their songs a whispered archive unlike the Byzantine folder's papyrus lost to turmoil. You lean closer, the lamps flicker warming the tent, the family's harmony, a fierce web holding the map's memory. The elder gestures to the girl who sings a star cluster's name, her voice small but unyielding, a spark against the colonial shadow. The boy follows his notes steady, a vow to keep the songs alive. You imagine the map slipping away, replaced by paper charts or forgotten in mission halls, and your heart aches. You laugh softly, thinking of your own tech reliance. Yeah, you'd be lost without app crash blues. But these songs are the family's soul. The singing maps, though, threaten to endure in their voices, a legacy that defies the Arctic's cold and colonial weight. The family's chant grows stronger, the children's voices rising their practice, a quiet act of defiance under the elder's watchful gaze. You notice the wife tending the lamp, her hum resolute, a guardian of the map's spirit, while the hunter's song anchors the family, his eyes fierce with purpose. You yawn, the wind's howl softening the chant's cadence, blending with the tent's gentle hum, a soothing rhythm that pulls you deeper. You think back to the dancing seal flourish, the snoring seal mnemonic, and realize these songs are both map and resistance weaving survival with identity, a melody that holds the outsiders at bay. You glance at the tent's entrance, the Arctic's vastness waiting beyond its ice, a glittering puzzle that tests the song's endurance. The elder's voice slows her eyes on the children, a silent charge to preserve the map's memory against the trading post's shadow. The family's harmony binds them, each note, a thread tying them to the stars, the sea, and their ancestors unbowed by colonial pressures. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to turmoil, unlike these songs which endure through defiant voices, a testament to Inuit resilience. You laugh again, picturing yourself mangling a howling wolf note and earning the girl's teasing smirk. Sorry, kid, I'm no seal chanter. You linger in the tent, the family's voices steady as they sing their melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the sea's own breath. The Arctic stretches vast, its dangers unrelenting, but the singing maps, preserved through resilience, remain navigable, a path woven in song that carries the family where others would falter. You feel the weight of their defiance, the tense warmth, a beacon in the dark, and you're ready to follow deeper to hear these songs in today's Arctic. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps, a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're standing on a windswept Arctic shore in Nunavut, Metutamp, the frozen ocean before you, a mosaic of ice floes glinting under a pale, endless twilight. The air is crisp, scented with the briny tang of sea and the faint diesel hum of a nearby snowmobile, a nod to the modern world. An Inuit family, descendants of the singers you followed, gathers by a community hall, their voices rising in a singing map, weaving Polaris and a growling bear ridge into a melody that feels ancient yet alive. You're here to hear these songs in today's Arctic, their echoes persisting through centuries of change, guiding kayaks and snowmobiles where the ice's treachery lingers. The chant's rhythm wraps you like a warm parka, and you're ready to trace its modern pulse. You step closer to the hall, your boots crunching on snow, the cold biting through your gloves as the family song carries over the wind. The elder, a woman with eyes as sharp as her ancestors' leads, singing of a howling wolf, current, her voice blending tradition with a quiet pride. A younger woman, perhaps her daughter, joins her notes clear, while a teenage boy and girl add harmony, their voices carrying the whoosh of waves. Historical records note that Inuit communities, despite colonial disruptions from the 17th century onward, have preserved singing maps into the 21st century, adapting them to modern tools like GPS, while maintaining oral traditions across Nunavut and Greenland. These songs, you realize, are a living bridge, their memory enduring through resilience. You smirk as the teenage boy, a modern-day gull tamer, sneaks a playful pop-pop crunch into the chant, mimicking weak ice and earning a grin from his sister. Still got that spark seal chaser, you mutter, chuckling at his nod to the past. The quirky truth is that some Inuit youth now mix singing maps with hip-hop beats, creating ice rap to teach routes in community workshops. One story claims a teen's rap about a singing seal route went viral on TikTok, spreading tradition to new ears. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of rap lyrics, and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the song's strength. Its notes, a defiance of time, carrying the Arctic secrets, where colonial shadows once loomed. The elder's chant weaves a star cluster into a safe harbor, her voice merging with the family's their harmony, a testament to survival. You imagine them navigating today's Arctic, their kayaks joined by snowmobiles to the song, guiding both through ice floes and storms. The modern world, climate change technology, global trade presses in, yet the singing maps hold their melodies a lifeline in a warming, shifting sea. Historians still argue whether these songs remain vital for navigation or serve more as cultural heritage, a symbol of Inuit identity. You're leaning toward both, feeling the family's pride, their chant as practical as it is profound, unlike the Byzantine folder's papyrus, lost to dust, while these songs thrive in living voices. You lean closer, the hall's warmth seeping through its walls, the family's harmony, a vibrant thread linking past to present. The younger woman sings a squawking gull note, tying it to a new route, shared via a community app, blending tradition with tech. The teenage girl practices a pop-pop crunch, her voice steady, a future keeper of the map. You laugh softly, imagining trying to mix your playlist with a GPS app. Yeah, you'd be jamming to Lost Signal blues in no time. The singing maps carried through centuries are resilient, their notes weaving stars, ice, and memory, a system that endures where the Byzantine folder crumbled under chaos. The family's chant grows stronger, the teenagers' voices rising, their practice a bridge between ancestral wisdom and modern life. You notice the elder smiling, her eyes on the youth, her song a gift to carry forward. The hunter, now a community leader, hums low, his voice grounding the melody, while the younger woman adjusts a digital recorder, capturing the chant for a cultural archive. You yawn, the wind's howl, softening the chant's cadence, blending with the distant hum of a snowmobile, a soothing rhythm that pulls you deeper. You think back to the dancing seal flourish, the snoring seal mnemonic, and realize these songs are both map and memory weaving survival with identity in today's Arctic. You glance at the kayaks parked beside snowmobiles, their sealskin and metal frames gleaming, ready for journeys guided by these enduring songs. The elder's voice slows her eyes on the stars, a quiet nod to ancestors who sang under the same sky. The family's harmony binds them, each note a thread tying them to the sea, the stars in their past, unbowed by time's changes. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to turmoil, unlike these songs which persist through resilient voices, a testament to Inuit strength. You laugh again, picturing yourself botching a howling wolf rap and earning the teens' smirks. Sorry kids, I'm no ice rapper. The chant holds you its rhythm, a promise of continuity. You linger by the hall, the family's voices steady as they sing their melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the sea's own breath. The Arctic stretches vast, its ice a shifting puzzle, but the singing maps echoing through time remain navigable, a path woven in song that carries the community where others would falter. You feel the weight of their endurance, the hall's warmth, a beacon in the dark, and you're ready to follow deeper to compare these songs to modern tools. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps, a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're seated on a snow-covered bench outside a community center in Iqaluit, Nunavut, May 2005, the Arctic Ocean, a glittering expanse of ice flows under a twilight sky, streaked with faint auroras. The air is crisp, scented with the briny tang of sea, and the metallic hum of a generator, nearby a pulse of the modern world. Inside the center, the Inuit family you followed sings a map, their voices weaving Polaris and a growling bear ridge, while a laptop screen glows with GPS coordinates. You're here to compare these ancient songs to technology's cold touch, their melodies pitted against digital tools in a warming Arctic. The chant's rhythm wraps you like a fading fire, and you're ready to feel their balance. You shift on the bench, your parka rustling, the cold biting through as the family's song spills through the center's open door. The elder leads her voice steady singing of a howling wolf current, while the younger woman syncs her notes to a GPS app, marking a route on a digital map. Historical records note that since the late 20th century, Inuit communities have adopted technologies like GPS and satellite imagery, blending them with oral traditions to navigate changing ice patterns across Nunavut and Greenland. The singing maps, you realize, are meeting technology, their warmth tested against the precision of screens, yet both aim to conquer the ice's treachery. You smirk as the teenage boy, a modern seal chaser, slips a pop-pop crunch into the chant, then taps his phone to check a weather app, earning a playful nudge from his sister. Tech-savvy gull tamer, huh? You mutter, chuckling at his dual focus. The quirky truth is that some Inuit youth now create digital song maps, uploading chants to apps with GPS waypoints, preserving routes in cloud storage. One story claims a teen's app featuring a singing seal rap helped hunters find a safe harbor during a storm. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of app code and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the song's resilience, their notes holding ground against technology's cold efficiency. The elder's chant weaves a star cluster into a safe channel, her voice harmonizing with the family's, while the teenage girl points to a GPS screen, aligning the song's whoosh of waves with a digital marker. You imagine navigating today's Arctic, where melting ice and climate change shift flows unpredictably, demanding both the song's intuition and GPS's precision. Technology offers speed, but the songs carry memory, star patterns, seal habits, storm cues that no satellite can match. Historians still argue whether singing maps can compete with GPS, or if technology will overshadow them, reducing songs to cultural relics. You're leaning toward coexistence, feeling the family's balance, their chants a soulful guide where the Byzantine folder's papyrus fell to dust. You lean closer to the door, the center's warmth seeping out the family's harmony, a vibrant thread weaving past and present. The hunter, now a community leader, hums low, his voice grounding the melody while the younger woman toggles between the app and her squawking gull note, blending tools with tradition. You laugh softly, imagining your GPS app trying to sing, "Yeah, you'd get buffering blues mid-storm." The singing maps, unlike the Byzantine folder's fragile system, are adaptable, their notes merging with tech to navigate a warming Arctic, a resilience born of necessity and memory. The family's chant grows softer, the teenagers practicing a pop-pop crunch for weak ice, their voices syncing with the GPS's beeps, a harmony of old and new. You notice the elder watching, her eyes on the screen, yet rooted in the stars, her song a bridge across centuries. The girl adjusts her phone, her chant steady, a future navigator wielding both melody and tech. You yawn, the wind's howl fading the chant's cadence, blending with the generator's hum, a soothing rhythm that pulls you deeper. You think of the dancing seal flourish, the snoring seal mnemonic, and realize these songs are both map and heart weaving survival, with identity, even as technology reshapes their world. You glance at the snowmobiles parked beside kayaks, their metal and sealskin frames gleaming, ready for journeys guided by songs and satellites alike. The elder's voice slows her eyes on the youth, a quiet trust in their ability to balance tradition with progress. The family's harmony binds them, each note, a thread tying them to the sea, the stars and their ancestors unbowed by technology's cold touch. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to chaos, unlike these songs, which endure through resilient voices and adaptive tools, a testament to Inuit strength. You laugh again, picturing yourself botching a howling wolf note and crashing an app. Sorry folks, I'm no tech chanter. The chant holds you its rhythm, a promise of balance. You linger by the center, the family's voices steady as they sing their melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the sea's own breath. The Arctic stretches vast, its ice a shifting puzzle, but the singing maps harmonizing with technology remain navigable, a path woven in song and signal that carries the community where others would falter. You feel the weight of their adaptation, the center's warmth, a beacon in the dark, and you're ready to follow deeper, to join their cultural revival. The stars guide you, the chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the singing maps, a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're standing inside the vibrant community center in Iqaluit, Nunavut. May 2005, the Arctic's chill kept at bay by the hum of heaters, though the frozen ocean's presence lingers beyond the windows, its ice floes glinting under a twilight sky. The air is warm, scented with the faint tang of coffee and the earthy musk of sealskin jackets hung by the door. The Inuit family you followed leads a workshop, their voices rising in a singing map, weaving Polaris and a growling bear ridge, joined by community members eager to revive these ancient melodies. You're here to join this cultural revival, where songs once threatened by colonial shadows sing again, guiding hearts, if not always kayaks. The chant's rhythm wraps you like a communal fire, and you're ready to feel its renewal. You settle on a folding chair, your parka draped over the back, the center buzzing with voices, elders, youth, even curious newcomers, all gathered to learn the maps. The elder leads her voice rich, singing of a howling wolf current, while the younger woman projects a digital map on a screen, syncing the chant's whoosh of waves to GPS waypoints. Historical records note that since the late 20th century, Inuit communities have launched cultural revitalization efforts, teaching singing maps in schools and workshops to reclaim traditions disrupted by colonial forces across Nunavut and Greenland. This revival, you realize, is a reclaiming of identity, the songs a lifeline to the past, vibrant in modern voices. You smirk as the teenage boy, that tech-savvy seal chaser, adds a pop-pop crunch, with a hip-hop flair, his ice rap style earning cheers from his peers. Keep spitting bars, gull tamer, you mutter, chuckling at his swagger. The quirky truth is that some revival workshops use virtual reality to map songs, letting youth paddle virtual kayaks while chanting routes. One tale claims a VR app featuring a singing seal chant helped a teen rediscover her great-grandmother's map. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of VR code and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the room's energy. The songs reborn their notes, defying centuries of silence to echo through the Arctic's heart. The elder's chant weaves a star cluster into a safe harbor, her voice harmonizing with the community's, while the teenage girl leads a group of kids in a squawking gull. Note, their voices bright with pride. You imagine these songs rippling outward, taught in schools, shared on apps, sung at gatherings. A revival that strengthens Inuit identity against a warming, globalized world. The Arctic's ice shifts faster now, climate change a new treachery. But the songs carry wisdom, star patterns, seal paths that tech alone can't match. Historians still argue whether this revival is primarily cultural or practical, a heritage project, or a navigational tool. You're leaning toward both, feeling the community's passion, their chants a bridge to ancestors, unlike the Byzantine folder's papyrus, lost to time, while these songs soar anew. You lean forward, the center's warmth enveloping you, the family's harmony, a vibrant web weaving past into present. The hunter, now a cultural teacher, hums low, guiding an elder's shaky voice, while the younger woman records the chant for an online archive, her pop-pop crunch note clear. You laugh softly, imagining your own attempt at cultural revival. Yeah, you'd be butchering karaoke blues at a family reunion. The singing maps, unlike the Byzantine folder's fragile system, are resilient, their revival blending tradition with innovation, a melody that navigates both ice and identity in today's Arctic. The community's chant grows stronger, the kids' voices rising their practice a spark of hope under the elders' watchful gaze. You notice a young girl, maybe 10, nailing a howling wolf note, her eyes gleaming, a future keeper of the maps. The teenage boy switches to his phone, sharing the chant on a community app, his rap style a new verse in the tradition. You yawn, the generator's hum softening the chant's cadence, blending with the distant lap of waves, a soothing rhythm that pulls you deeper. You think of the dancing seal flourish, the snoring seal mnemonic, and realize these songs are both map and revival, weaving survival with pride, a harmony that holds the Arctic's future. You glance at the window, the Arctic's vastness waiting beyond its ice, a shifting puzzle that tests the song's endurance. The elder's voice slows her eyes on the youth, a quiet trust in their revival's strength. The community's harmony binds them each note, a thread tying them to the sea, the stars, and their ancestors unbowed by time or tech. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost to chaos, unlike these songs which rise through resilient voices and communal love, a testament to Inuit spirit. You laugh again, picturing yourself flubbing a squawking gull rap and earning the kids' smirks. Sorry folks, I'm no ice poet. The chant holds you, its rhythm, a promise of rebirth. You linger in the center, the family's voices steady as they sing their melodies, fading into a gentle hum, like the sea's own breath. The Arctic stretches vast, its challenges unrelenting, but the singing maps, reborn in revival, remain navigable, a path woven in song that carries the community where others would falter. You feel the weight of their renewal, the center's warmth, a beacon in the dark, and you're ready to follow deeper, to reflect on the song's global wisdom. The stars guide you. The chants echo, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep. The singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're seated on a rocky outcrop overlooking the Arctic Ocean in Nunavut. May 295, the ice flows below, shimmering under a twilight sky, where stars mingle with faint auroras. The air is crisp, scented with the briny tang of sea and the distant hum of a community's life, a blend of snowmobiles and ancient songs. The Inuit family's singing map with its notes of Polaris and a growling bear ridge echoes in your mind, their voices now a memory from the Iqaluit Community Center. You're here to reflect on the global lessons of these songs, their wisdom whispering truths about resilience, memory, and connection that resonate far beyond the Arctic. The chant's rhythm lingers like a soft pulse, and you're ready to trace its universal glow. You shift on the cold stone, your parka rustling the vastness of the ocean stretching before you, its ice a testament to the Inuit's enduring craft. The singing maps weaving stars, currents, and sounds like the whoosh of waves or pop-pop crunch of ice carry lessons that transcend their frozen paths. Historical records note that Inuit oral traditions, preserved through millennia across Nunavut and Greenland, embody a deep ecological knowledge, a harmony with nature that modern societies often lack. You feel their wisdom living lightly on the earth, remembering through community, adapting to change, a guide for a world grappling with climate shifts and fractured connections far beyond the Arctic's shores. You smirk as you imagine the teenage boy, that ice-wrapped gull tamer trying to teach his singing seal chant to a city kid, his hip-hop flair probably sparking more laughs than learning. "Keep it cool, seal chaser," you mutter, chuckling at the thought. The quirky truth is that some Inuit elders have shared singing maps at global climate conferences, their chants inspiring activists with metaphors of navigation through uncertainty. One story claims an elder's howling wolf melody moved a UN panel to tears, a reminder of humanity's shared need for roots. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of conference notes, and grin. But the humor fades as you feel the song's weight, their lessons a beacon for a disconnected world, unlike the folder's fleeting order. The map's wisdom lies in their balance, resilience, like the family's defiance against colonial shadows, memory carried in fragile voices yet stronger than paper, and connection binding communities through shared songs and stars. You think of the elders' chant, the squawking gull note, traded with another clan, and realize these songs teach us to listen to the earth, to each other, to the past. In a world of fleeting apps and melting ice, this wisdom feels urgent, a call to navigate our own storms with care. Historians still argue whether Inuit singing maps hold universal lessons or are unique to their Arctic context, a cultural gem not easily translated. You're leaning toward universal feeling. Their truths echo in every struggle to adapt and endure, unlike the Byzantine folder lost to chaos, while these songs whisper globally. You lean back, the stars above, brightening their patterns, a map that Inuit wove into melody, a reminder of humanity's shared sky. The family's revival in Iqaluit, blending chants with GPS and ice wrap, shows adaptation without loss, a lesson for societies facing change. You laugh softly, imagining trying to apply this wisdom to your life. Yeah, you'd be humming traffic jam blues instead of a star map. The singing maps, carried through centuries, are a gift, their lessons of memory and connection, a guide where the Byzantine folder's rigid system crumbled. You think of the dancing seal flourish, the snoring seal mnemonic, and see their universal heart, a way to navigate life's uncertainties with grace. The Arctic silence wraps you, broken only by the distant creak of ice. The chants echo, a memory in your mind. You picture the community center, the teenage girls' steady pop-pop crunch, the elders' trust in the revival, and feel their wisdom ripple outward to cities, forests, deserts, wherever people seek paths through chaos. You yawn, the winds howl, softening the ocean's lap, blending with the stars' quiet glow, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. The song's lessons are a bridge connecting the Inuit's Arctic to your world, a reminder to listen, adapt, and hold memory tight no matter the storm. You glance at the kayaks and snowmobiles below their frames, gleaming, ready for journeys guided by songs and shared wisdom. The stars feel closer now, their light a universal map tying you to the Inuit, to ancestors, to all who navigate by heart. You feel a pang, remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost, unlike these songs which endure through resilient voices and timeless truths, a testament to human spirit. You laugh again, picturing yourself botching a howling wolf note and stumbling through life's map. Sorry, elder, I'm no star walker. The chant's echo holds you its wisdom, a promise of guidance. You linger on the outcrop, the family's voices, a distant hum in your memory, their melodies fading into the sea's gentle breath. The Arctic stretches vast, its ice a shifting puzzle, but the singing map's wisdom universal, and enduring lights a path for all who listen, carrying us where others might falter. You feel the weight of their lessons, the outcrop's chill, a beacon in the dark, and you're ready to follow deeper, to hear the Arctic's timeless voice. The stars guide you, their echo a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep. The singing map's a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're perched on a windswept cliff in Nunavut, May 2025. The Arctic Ocean sprawling below its ice floes, glimmering under a twilight sky, where auroras dance like whispered dreams. The air is crisp, scented with the briny tang of sea, and the faint hum of a distant community, a blend of ancient chants and modern life. The Inuit family's singing map, with its notes of Polaris and a growling bear ridge, lingers in your heart, their voices from the Iqaluit Community Center, now a soft echo. You're here to connect the past's melodies to future hopes, the timeless voice of these songs, weaving a thread from ancestors to generations yet unborn. The chant's rhythm wraps you like a quiet tide, and you're ready to feel its eternal flow. You settle on the cold rock, your parka rustling the ocean's vastness, a mirror of the song's enduring reach. The singing map's blending stars, currents, and sounds like the whoosh of waves or pop-pop crunch of ice carry a voice that speaks across time. Resilience against colonial shadows, memory preserved in fragile voices, hope for a warming world. Historical records note that Inuit oral traditions, rooted in millennia of survival across Nunavut and Greenland, have adapted to modern challenges from GPS to climate change. Their songs a beacon for cultural continuity. You feel their timelessness, a melody that binds the past's kayaks to the future's snowmobiles, guiding through ice and uncertainty. You smirk as you imagine the teenage boy, that ice-wrapped seal chaser, teaching his singing seal chant to his own kids someday, maybe with a hologram app for flair. Keep the beat, gull tamer, you mutter, chuckling at the thought. The quirky truth is that some Inuit communities now use augmented reality to teach songs projecting star maps over real skies to inspire youth. One story claims a girl's AR app syncing a howling wolf chant to a virtual route won a global Indigenous Tech Award. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, wincing at a scroll full of AR code, and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the song's eternal voice. Their notes a bridge from ancestors to future dreamers, unlike the folder's fleeting papyrus lost to dust. The map's timeless voice sings of connection to the land, the stars, each other. A lesson for a world racing toward disconnection. You think of the elder's chant, the squawking gull note, shared across clans, and see its hope. A future where youth, like the teenage girl, carry these songs, blending them with tech to navigate a shifting Arctic. The song's resilience from colonial threats to modern challenges offers a promise that memory and community can endure any storm. Historians still argue whether singing maps will remain navigational tools or evolve into purely cultural symbols as ice melts and tech advances. You're leaning toward both, feeling their voice as both guide and soul, unlike the Byzantine folder, which crumbled while these songs sing on. You lean back, the stars above, blazing their patterns, a map the Inuit wove into melody, a timeless guide for all who listen. The Iqaluit revival, with its ice wrap and digital archives, shows a future where songs live in apps, classrooms, and hearts, a hope for generations to come. You laugh softly, imagining your own future. Yeah, you'd be humming Lost in Wi-Fi blues instead of a star chant. The singing maps carried through centuries are a gift, their voice a reminder to hold traditions tight while embracing change, a wisdom that outlasts the Byzantine folder's fragile system. The Arctic silence enfolds you, broken by the distant creak of ice, the chance echo, a memory in your soul. You picture the community center, the young girl's steady pop-pop crunch, the elders' trust in the revival, and feel their voice ripple forward to future hunters, singers, dreamers, all navigating life's ice with song. You yawn, the wind's whisper softening the ocean's lap, blending with the aurora's glow, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. You think of the dancing seal flourish, the snoring seal mnemonic, and see their timeless heart, a melody that carries hope connecting past to future, Arctic to world. You glance at the horizon where kayaks and snowmobiles wait, their frames gleaming, ready for journeys guided by songs and dreams. The stars feel alive, their light, a universal map tying you to the Inuit, to ancestors, to futures yet unseen. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's decline, its system lost, unlike these songs which endure through resilient voices and timeless hope, a testament to human spirit. You laugh again, picturing yourself botching a squawking gull note and losing life's path. Sorry, elder, I'm no star dreamer. The chance echo holds you, its voice, a promise of guidance. You linger on the cliff, the family's voices, a gentle hum in your memory, their melodies fading into the sea's soft breath. The Arctic stretches vast, its ice a shifting puzzle, but the singing map's timeless voice connecting past to future lights. A path for all who sing, carrying us where others might falter. You feel the weight of their hope, the cliffs chill, a beacon in the dark, and you're ready to drift into dreams, carried by the Arctic's song. The stars guide you, their echo, a gentle pull, and you sink closer to sleep, the singing maps, a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. You're resting on a soft bed of snow atop the same Nunavut cliff, made to turn off at the Arctic Ocean below. A shimmering expanse of ice flows glowing under a twilight sky, where auroras weave their silent dance. The air is gentle now, scented with the briny whisper of sea and the faint warmth of a distant community's hearth, a memory of songs and snowmobiles. The Inuit family's singing map, with its notes of Polaris, a growling bear ridge, and a howling wolf current, hums in your soul, their voices from the Iqaluit revival, now a soothing echo. You're here to drift into dreams, letting the Arctic's timeless voice carry you to rest, its melodies a lullaby for your weary heart. The chant's rhythm wraps you like a starlit blanket, and you're ready to surrender to its peace. You sink deeper into the snow, your parka a cocoon, the cold a soft caress as the ocean's gentle lap blends with the aurora's glow. The singing maps weaving stars, waves, and ice, those whoosh sounds, the pop-pop crunch of flows, carry a voice that transcends time, from ancestors' kayaks to future hopes. You see the elders' steady chant, the teenage girl's proud squawking gull, the boys' ice-wrap flare, and feel their legacy, a melody of resilience, memory, and connection that guided families through blizzards and colonial shadows. Historical records note that Inuit oral traditions preserved across millennia in Nunavut and Greenland remain a beacon of cultural strength, their songs a testament to human spirit in a changing world. You feel their warmth, a promise that endures, unlike the Byzantine folder's papyrus lost to dust. You smile, imagining the teenage seal chaser, now a distant star in your mind, rapping his singing seal chant for generations yet to come, maybe with a holographic twist. Keep shining, gull tamer, you whisper, a soft chuckle fading into the night. The quirky truth is that Inuit songs have inspired global art, from poetry to music, their rhythms echoing in far-off lands. One tale claims a composer wove a dancing seal melody into a symphony capturing the Arctic's heart for audiences worldwide. You picture Paulus wincing at a scroll of orchestral notes and grin, but the thought softens as you feel the song's universal embrace, their wisdom, a lullaby not just for the Arctic, but for you here now, drifting towards sleep. The map's timeless voice sings of hope, to listen to the earth, to hold memory close, to adapt with love. A lesson that wraps you like the elders' chant, guiding you through life's uncertainties. You see the family's harmony, the snoring seal mnemonic, the howling wolf shared across clans, and know their songs will carry on in apps, in hearts, in stars. Historians may argue whether these maps will guide kayaks or only souls as the ice melts, but you rest easy, feeling their truth as both a melody that navigates the past and dreams alike, far beyond the Byzantine folder's fleeting order. You're home in their song, its notes, a gentle tide pulling you to rest. You close your eyes, the auroras blurring into a soft glow, the stars above a celestial map the Inuit wove into eternity. You think of the Iqaluit Center, the young girl's steady voice, the elders' trust, and feel their hope ripple through you. A promise that every voice, every path finds its place. You laugh one last time, imagining botching a pop-pop crunch and drifting off course. Sorry, elder, I'm no star singer, just a dreamer. The Arctic's silence cradles you. Its ice, a distant lullaby, the chant's echo, a memory that soothes your soul. You yawn, the wind's whisper gone, the ocean's breath, a tender hum, blending with the star's light, pulling you deeper into peace. You sink into the snow, the cliffs chill, fading the aurora's dance, a final gift. The singing maps with their dancing seal and squawking gull are a timeless voice binding ancestors to futures Arctic, to world you, to dreams. You see the kayaks, the snowmobiles, the stars all gleaming with hope, their paths eternal in the family's song. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's fall, but the Inuit's melodies endure their resilience, a beacon in your heart. The stars blur their light, a blanket the Arctic's voice, a whisper of rest, carrying you where no ice can harm. You linger in the snow, the family's chant a gentle hum, their melodies fading into the sea's soft breath, a lullaby that holds you close. The Arctic stretches vast, its mysteries softened, but the singing maps light your way, their timeless voice a path to dreams, where all wanderers find peace. You feel their embrace, the cliff, a haven in the dark, and you let go, carried by the Arctic's song. The stars guide you, their echo a final pull, and you drift into sleep, the singing maps a lullaby in the Arctic's endless night. And so, dear wanderer, the tale of the Inuit singing maps draws to its close, its melodies softening like the last ripples of a tide. You're still on that snowy cliff, the Arctic night now. Deep, the aurora's glow, a gentle caress, the ocean's hum, a distant lullaby. The song's story born in starlit kayaks, carried through storms, revived in modern halls, wraps you in warmth, a reminder that every voice from elder to child finds its place in the timeless chant. Let the weight of the ice, the flicker of the community's lamp, the echo of howling wolf and singing seal, all fade into a quiet peace. You're safe here, held by the Arctic's embrace, the promise of resilience and connection. The stars above whisper rest their light, a soft veil, and the singing maps cradle you, a final gift from a people who navigated by heart. Drift now, let the world slip away and sink into dreams as gentle as an Arctic dawn. Sleep well, sweet soul, sleep well.